also trade margin. So like literally, I trade margin too. I could send you a screenshot in a couple minutes. I'll send you a screenshot on Twitter, dude. I
Hmm.
uh, I started a new Binance account in 10 days. I did like $107 million of volume, and
Oh, damn.
Binance sent me a message, and it says, "Congratulations, you've exceeded $107 million in volume and outperformed 99.49% of traders." And I was like, winning.
Damn. What are you trading? I need to figure out what you're trading. I need
I
to
mean, dude,
do the bot trader with you.
mostly I do delta neutral positions, bro. So basically, what I do is I check the funding rates, and
Hmm.
then if the funding rate is high, I'll fill because like when the funding rate is high, that means a lot of people are going long, right? So I'll buy spot bags, and then I'll take a 1x perpetual short. And that means that my position is delta neutral, but I'm milking the funding rate. And then when I see a confirmation on the chart, like whether it's a confirmation to the downside or the upside, I'll either sell my spot bags or close my short, if that makes sense, and like let it run up or fall down, and then just
I don't
take
know what
the.
that means, but it sounds like it works. I'm gonna have to
Yeah, it
look into
works.
that.
It's chill, dude. Let me pay to get this developed. So let me pay
Yeah.
to build this.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right, hold on one second. I'm checking your messages. Oh, snap. Okay, here we go.
That's the
Oh,
name of that's the name of an NFT.
oh my gosh. Okay, so here we go. Not pre-sale listed holder, non-pre-sale hold, uh, how non-pre-sale listed holders. Okay, yeah, like this is a little bit more complex. Like it would, well, there are a couple of different ways that it could be done. I get how it works though. Is it's basically like, um, I actually have a suggestion for you, dude, which is like, uh, if you're not depending on like what the project is for, if it's like a game thing or something, a lot of this solved by like just partially centralizing some of your metadata.
Okay.
Um, because like we could basically make it where instead of it being like people mint a new NFT, there could be like a smart contract call with the NFT that would then like run a script that would basically evolve the metadata in their existing NFT. Because I think that's kind of something like what you're trying to facilitate here. But maybe you could just like break it down to me, or if you want to like if you don't want to reveal any of your IP, we could have like a private chat sometime, and you could like break down
Well,
what what the goal is.
yeah, so like if you look at the first image, basically we wanted anyone who had, so of course we have to give out whitelist spots to begin with, or pre-sale spots to begin with. So if we gave out maybe 2,000 spots for the mint, then those people will be able to mint, of course, the first NFT. But once they had that first NFT, when we went to mint the second NFT, we wanted them to automatically somehow automatically be listed for the second NFT. And if they had the
Yes,
first and the second, then they would be able to.
that function in Solidity is called a balance of function. So
Okay.
basically, like it would make it so that the contract would check for balance of, and then it would have the previous NFT contract passed into that contract. And when someone went to try and interact with the contract, it would say, you know, numbers in series 1 through 2000,
Right.
uh,
Right.
mint accessible to owner only or balance of token ID previous series. And
Okay.
then it would, I mean, that's like literally how the Solidity would be,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
The function is called balance of. So it basically check the address that was the message sender, right? Message sender is like the wallet address of the person interacting with the contract. Message sender, balance of, token address greater than one equals mint allowable. So
Yeah. Right.
it's
Okay.
100% doable. I just think that I'd like to know kind of like we'll talk sometime in the near future, I guess. I don't want you, it sounds like there's kind of some unique IP here, so we're in a public
Yeah.
chat. I don't want you
Yeah.
to spew it over the public chat, and also and let's execute an NDA so that like you know that your IP is yours, and then basically like if it's it, it seems like kind of like an evolution. I'm looking at it like it would be something that you had like evolving NFTs, but maybe it's more like a membership club
So
where like
no, it's both. It's all of that. So it's a membership club DAO evolving. It's all of that. A lot of that's phase two. Phase one, it just we just need to carry this function for phase one. Phase two, um, we just need to be able to call reference to this old data, like the old contract for phase two.
yeah, yeah, that's totally doable, bro. Totally doable, and like there are a couple of different ways to solve it, but the idea is that it's like a series of NFTs that people can mint, right? Like it's like episodic or something like that,
Yeah,
basically.
it's 5 characters, and then if you have once you have all 5 characters, you'll be able to get a comic and then an animation.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that's like I said, I think there could be like a cooler, like not necessarily a cooler, but a little bit like snazzier way to do
Yeah.
it. Like a project that I recommend looking at is called Crypto Masks, and that
Okay.
implements like live HTML data within the NFTs. So it's possible that instead of people having to mint a bunch of different NFTs and like pay lots of gas, I mean, unless the characters are going to have different functions, but we'll just talk about most of what you want to do can 100% be done by the platform. And then like of course because we're developers and we're here like people that have special requests and stuff like that, like we can just basically like serve up a la carte functions, make like do like a la carte customization on top of like the base license stuff if there are things that are more complex that people want. And then
Okay.
like if we think that there's like if we get demand for the same thing multiple times, then potentially we wouldn't even charge for the a la carte customization, you know? But
Yeah.
yeah,
Ja,
that's basically
die hat
how it
früher mal
works.
stärker gerochen, aber die ist jetzt so im Keller ist die schon ziemlich.
Hey, what's up, Derp? You're here. You guys, Derpamine, our senior dev, Derpamine, is here. Oh wait, no, he's not. I'm not looking at the right thing. Hold on. Where am I? Okay, here we go. So yeah, does anyone else have any other questions? Hyperhex, is there? I know you were asking for about like how you find a dev, a Solidity dev for an NFT project. Like obviously we do dev things, but I
Yes,
think
no, I'll tell you specifically what I'm looking for. I'm in this like community trait submission section on my roadmap for my project, and I
yeah.
mean, I have like probably 95% of the artwork done. I just want to create a minting event, and I also want to have a project where each NFT acts as like a almost like a ticket to my other project. Basically priority would go to the holders of this first project for everything else that I'm associated with. And I don't know, mind you, I just do the art, and I just a lot of what you said was
Yeah.
amazing, and it
So
went directly over my head.
you're talking about the same kind of the same thing Chris is, which is like generational whitelisting, right? Which is like you want people who get your first NFT to have first dibs on all of the NFTs that follow after the first one.
Exactly, and I also want I also need the actual smart contract so I can upload with like the traits and the rarity and all that good stuff.
So, did you take a look at did you take a look at our demo video and how it works?
No, I did not. I just got back to the computer.
Okay, cool. If you go to the under info channels, if you click on how it works,
Okay, and then and then this is what I should watch right here.
yeah.
Okay, and then really, what is the pricing for the lifetime license?
Okay, so the lifetime unlimited license is 5 ETH. And that pricing is basically like if you go to a Solidity dev, right?
Yeah.
Usually you're gonna get quoted between like 10 and 15K to do any type of like smart contract or anything like that. And these days, because of the scarcity of devs, a lot of devs are asking for a percentage of the mint as well. And effectively, that pricing is based on the fact that like that will take the dev, a really good dev will be done for you in like 5 to 10 days. And that doesn't necessarily include all of the pinning of your metadata to IPFS or as on-chain SVG files, right? So like that's literally them just writing the smart contracts, and then you'll still need to pin the metadata to IPFS, and they'll usually basically like give you the smart contracts, and then you'll have to just like give them your IPFS link for all your metadata, and then they'll add it. And so if you watch the video, what you'll see is, and I encourage everyone who's in here to go to the How It Works channel and watch the video, you'll basically see like a walkthrough of what the process looks like. You basically drag and drop all of your different traits and attributes onto our platform, and then it will let you set the weighting of each of the traits. So you like determine how rare each trait is going to be in the collection. And then like you can add additional like text metadata or anything like that that you want. And basically our software will automatically compile all of your layers, automatically randomize them, give you a preview of the collection. And then after giving you a preview of the collection, once you're satisfied with it, like you can change your weighting and play with it and do all the things you want. And once you're satisfied that your collection is at the correct weighting, you basically click a button and it will upload all of your metadata to IPFS and then deploy your smart contract and then pass ownership of the smart contract from our deployer wallet to your wallet. And then you have total control over turning on the mint function, pausing the mint function, pre-minting tokens, et cetera, et cetera. So it's like a lot of things like with pre-mints and series, like one of the easiest ways to solve it in terms of like whitelisting for a pre-mint without having an at the contract mint function is that you pre-mint the number that you want whitelisted and use OpenSea's whitelisting function to make that available to all of the holders of your contract. And of course, when the MVP comes out, I think when the MVP comes out, I think it actually, as per my last conversation with the front end devs, I think it may actually give you a minting page right away. If not, you'll be able to deploy your own minting page within like, you know, 5 to 10 days of the MVP launching. So like on our platform, you would get like an omakavc.com/your collection, and then people could go to that page that's like customized with your art, and there's a mint button there, and they can connect their wallet and call the mint function on your contract and mint one of your tokens.
That's pretty amazing. Let me ask you this. So with this lifetime now, would basically I be able to do this as many times? Say I want to do multiple minting events.
You can
Would
do
I?
that's the whole point. You can do as many contracts as you want, bro.
Oh, so I'm not having to like get a new like smart contract developer anytime that I want to create this.
That's kind of how we've justified the pricing is
Yeah,
that like you
expensive.
basically, yeah, dude, if you wanted to get a developer to do the contracts and fork the contracts every time, they're going to charge you for dev debt, right? Like they're going to charge you
Yeah,
developer
so
rates for their time.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
another thing too with the dev. So when you pay a dev to do your contract, they are gonna charge 10 to 15,000, but you also need to get your contract audited by someone else, and then you have the risk of them, writing into the code to rug pull you. That's been
Yeah,
happening too. So
yeah,
this is like
dude,
it's a lot of
exactly,
reasons to
bro.
pay 5 ETH for
that's
this
that's exactly.
functionality.
Yeah, that's
And
what I was.
not only that, but we're actually, like I said, we're deploying a marketplace. So we have all of like the Miro boards and front end design and everything done for the marketplace, and the smart contracts are already forked. So we're making like fine tunings, and like the front end back end developers need to just like do their work and get it done. And so marketplace revenue actually goes to the omakavc smart contract, which is DAO governed, meaning all of the omakavc license holders can actually vote on how those funds are utilized. And then after we've had a certain number of the lifetime licenses mint, and like there's a community around the actual like core community and lifetime holders, then we are going to create the opportunity for people to either buy single use mints, which would be like people pay like 2 to 3 ETH to just get a single mint done, and then the profit from those mints, like above the gas costs, are also going to flow to the license holder DAO. And then as well, we're going to create an option where the people can come without even buying a single use mint, but they won't have access to like all of the different types of smart contracts and functionality to be deployed. It'll just be a standard ERC 721 contract, like without the DAO functionality and stuff like that, like the normal Bored Apes Yacht Club style contract. But what that will do is actually charge a percentage of the mint, and part of that will go to us, and like basically 50% of that will go to us as the devs, and 50% will go to the license holder DAO. So like there's going to be like we're launching it for unlimited license holders first, and then there will be ways that people who are like not as serious of artists can get involved, or people who just want to do a one-off mint or don't want multiple interacting smart contracts can come and just get a mint done by only paying gas. But in that case, we're going to basically charge, we haven't decided on the exact amount, and this is part of like why we actually want license holder input, but it'll probably be between 10 and 20% of the actual mint that gets charged to people who come and use the platform for free. So it's like you can imagine, like if you did a collection of 10,000 at 0.1 ETH, that's still 1,000 ETH, right? So it's like if you come and you don't want to pay for the unlimited license, and you're going to do a mint of 10,000 for 0.1 ETH, then like you can pay us 200 ETH on the back end. You know, like
which is
that's how
fair
it's going to be set
because
up. And
it's
we're going to share that with the unlimited license holders who are going to support the project early and like actually utilize it and have the intention of doing like multiple art series or forming DAOs, forming communities, things like that.
Let me ask you this: say I get a unlimited licensing? Could I offer minting for other artists
Yes.
to help pay
Yes.
back the initial investment
Yes.
that
Yes, we want people to do that. We absolutely want people to do that. Whereas, like, by having a license, you will have your own micro enterprise effectively, where you can
insane.
find people who want to do their own mints, and you can be like, well, I own an omakavc license, so ship me all of your art files and
Oh
send
my
me
god.
X amount of ETH, and I'll deploy your contracts for you and pass ownership to you, or I'll deploy your contracts for you and I want 20% of the mint, et cetera, et cetera.
Now let me. Oh, that's amazing.
Insane.
So then, and is there a way to? So I'm guessing since it'll be under the omakavc name, and there'll be a way to transfer for people that aren't so like developer savvy. There will be an easy way to transfer ownership to the users, and also
It's all built into the graphic user interface, bro.
all built in. And
Yeah.
the other thing would be um, I forgot. That's amazing. That
I mean,
okay. That's
basically, our goal with this project is to basically create 1,000 smart contract developers.
I
That
have
was
a
our goal
question.
because we recognized how much of a divergence there was in supply and demand for these services. And instead of us saying, like, okay, let us find a bunch of people who can market our services. Like I said, originally we started building this tool as an in-house tool for our dev stack because I had so many people contacting us wanting us to build NFT mints for them. And I was like, okay, well, why don't we build a tool so that we can have like one of our lower level developers or assistants perform all of the mints? The issue there is that we still have to do all the client management, all of the client side interactions, all of that. And then I was like, well, why don't we just decentralize it, sell people a license on it, and then everyone has basically their own little micro shop. You could start your own front end website to say custom generative NFT mints, a Facebook page, your own Twitter page, and market the service and sell that service to people. And we're totally excited about people making money with our product that way. So
And so is this a limited time opportunity, or is this something that later on?
there are only going to be 1,000 lifetime licenses available. Period. That's
And
it. There are
will we have
1,000 lifetime licenses.
would we have an opportunity to say transfer a lifetime license to someone or sell them a lifetime license?
100%. It's a ERC 721 token. It can be listed on OpenSea. You can sell it. You could buy one, do your mint, and then list it for sale on OpenSea. You could buy one, do your 3 mints, and then list it for sale on OpenSea. You could buy one, do 3 mints for yourself, and then start offering to do mints for other people. You could buy one just to do mints for other people if you want to. Once it's yours, it belongs to you. There will only be 1,000 ever. And our assumption about it is sort of that, like, someone who is savvy and a good salesperson who wanted to sell that service could potentially do, it literally takes you, if you have all of your art prepared, it literally takes 45 minutes to use our tool to deploy it, a
Yeah, I was
custom
just watching
generative
the
art
video.
NFT DAO.
It's insane.
So, yeah,
Do you
So I have
do you
a question of
Sorry, Chris.
go ahead.
yeah.
Either one of you.
Okay.
Uh,
So I have a question about the animated gifs. So if you have a collection that has some PNGs and then some animated gifs, like say you animated the mouth on a image, would it can it handle that? The
Uh,
mixture.
so yeah, it can, of course, it can handle the different layers and compose layers like that. We
Okay.
recommend that if people want to do OpenSea displays animation through a different API call than the image call. So we recommend that if people want to do animated NFTs, that they go for centralized metadata. And there are a number of reasons for that. And I think that our determination as developers is that if you want to have some type of animation, that it's a better decision to use centralized metadata than it is to use decentralized metadata. So
Yeah.
So okay, I'm really thinking about this. So my other question was, do you offer any type of like financing for this type of thing, or do you and then I answer that question first if you don't mind, and then I'll ask my second question.
yeah, so we don't offer financing for the licenses. We do have a grant program for artists that people can apply for. Um, and like if we like your project enough, then like we are also always willing to talk about like joint ventures or using the tool ourselves to deploy it. Or you could potentially talk to another license holder. I know that there are some people who've cooperated with other people to purchase a license and put it into a multi-sig. One of the things that I think people will notice is that because these deploy NFT DAOs, you could actually buy a license, then use our license to deploy a DAO, give membership to that, sell NFTs in that DAO, and fractionalize one of the licenses yourself. So that's kind of like that's kind of how we're looking at it. Our goal is kind of to have it be as simple as possible for us, which is that like we think that it's kind of only like 50%. It's only like 40 to 50% more expensive than like a mid-level dev, and you incur way less risk of time, attention, energy, developmental debt, the developer running off with payment, the developer not actually being competent, the developer injecting malicious code into your contracts. So we think that it's kind of like a fair price point for the utility that's offered, especially given like the additional utility of having like the unique on-chain governance. So like if you look at our smart contract that's deployed, our contract for our NFTs is already deployed on the Ethereum blockchain. And we also, in the MVP, it will start by only being utilizable for ERC 20 or ERC 721, but within probably 30 days to 40 days after launching, we will expand the tool to be able to deploy on any EVM compatible chain. So you'll be able to deploy on AVAX, BSC, Polygon, Moonriver, Harmony One, anywhere you want to, basically. So
That
How
was
easy?
my next question, actually.
Okay.
I was asking about Polygon.
yeah,
Can we deploy on Polygon instead of the Ethereum network?
yeah, absolutely. And Polygon will be the first one that's added, mainly because we're targeting the areas where there are actually like functional NFT marketplaces
Yeah.
occurring. And then the one of the features that will be launched quickly afterwards is the fungible token staking contract. So we're going
Oh
to
my
release
God.
a deployer for a fungible token for a staking contract that allows you to basically deploy a fungible token and NFT staking contract so that you could so that people who've deployed your or minted your NFTs from your collection can then go and stake into a staking contract and harvest a fungible token from that staking contract at whatever emission rate you set, whatever maximum supply of the token you set, et cetera, et cetera. So
That was the
So
question. Was that can that be added after the fact to your NFTs,
yeah,
or
yeah,
does
that's
it at
that's
the same?
actually that's actually the way that it works, right? Is so you have because you don't want fungible and non-fungible tokens in the same smart contract. So one smart contract is your non-fungible token contract, and then you'd have another contract which we have everything spec'd, and we're determining whether we're pretty sure that we're going to be able to make the ERC 20 token contract, the actual staking contract itself. So you'll be able to actually stake the NFTs into the ERC 20 contract, and be able to do it that way. And then we're also looking at potentially giving the option to make it function via airdrop, which is not ideal for Ethereum, but is more ideal for like Polygon or AVAX or something like that, being that the NFTs can still execute governance in the main DAO contracts without needing to be unstaked. So that those are kind of like the ERC 20 contract is basically going to be a fungible token contract that you can stake into the fungible token contract and then basically set a scheduled emission to your NFT holders of that token.
How do I apply for your? So one, how do I apply for your grant scenario, and then also two, do you run any type? I mean, because me coming up with like 5 Ethereum, right? I'm so fresh because I
So
had
check this out. We're actually going to be doing like a beta tester whitelist. So we're going to be basically offering. I think we're settling on it's going to be either 2 or 2.5 ETH for a very small group of people that we're going to allow to use the utility before we go live with the public mint to make sure like we're giving the discount on the lifetime license, basically because you guys are going to do some front end unit testing for us and like notice if there are any bugs or glitches or slow spots or anything in like the syntax or language that makes things like not completely intuitive on the platform. So actually, Tira is going to be releasing the details on that shortly. And there's going to be a very, very small number of basically like whitelist beta tester spots that will get released. So you could apply for that. And then also, like I said, we do have like an artist grant program where we basically like look at a number of factors. For the artist grants, we're looking for people who have like an existing art base, an existing like artist community around their art already primarily. So we have like a genuine human artist is one of the first artists that's been approved, and he's on like known origin and super rare and what's the other platform? D? Tara. What's the other
Maker's
platform that, huh?
Maker's Place
No, it's another one. Foundation. He's on
Foundation.
Foundation as well, and so it's like, and he has like over 60 ETH in volume on each platform, right? So it's like we're looking at people like him who bring like they have their own community of collectors, they have outreach, and can like kind of be like a strategic partner to bring value to the platform, because like my honest belief is that like as soon as someone launches a successful mint of 10,000 for like zero point 0.1 ETH each and has like a $4 million mint with our platform, that the desirability and value of the licenses is going to significantly climb,
Oh yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
Instantly.
So yeah, and
Um,
you know, like we built a tool that builds tools. So like there are lots of tool users, there are even less tool builders, and there are even less people who build tools that build tools, right? So
so you're white now. Will there be? I'm assuming that this is a long term endeavor for your team and yourself. And um, so will there be updates to your platform? Will there be?
oh yeah, I mean I think you can see that like the total revenue generated by getting minted out is like totally worth us spending lots of time upgrading and building out the functionality of the platform. And like I said, like all of the things that we're building are already tools that we need in-house as a dev stack, right? It already makes our existing job easier. So this is just us marketing tools that we're building for ourselves to the greater community of blockchain effectively.
Oh,
Like the things are getting built, and like like overall developmental debt, like like we have significant developmental debt in this project already. I mean, I think you could see like Tira is salaried, Coma is our Discord mod, he gets paid. You know what I mean? Like everyone who's involved with our team gets paid. Like I have a COO and business admin stack. We have two assistants. Our dev stack has a art director, two UI people, UX. We've got two Solidity developers, three backend devs, four front end devs. Like and we're hiring more developers every day. So this is really like our goal was to essentially create a platform that could allow people to more easily deploy NFTs that have utility, and really kind of put the power back in the hands of the creators and the artists and the community managers, versus them having to like go through this bottleneck of Solidity developers, which, like, to be frank, there are a lot of really shitty script kiddies masquerading as developers, right?
Yeah.
There are a lot of forkers who are masquerading as devs, and they're
yeah.
not actually developers.
That was the problem we had with our dev. He was actually just copy and pasting hash lips. So
Yeah.
we ended up just dropping them and doing it ourselves. But I had two questions. The first one uh, was about the crap. What was it? So gas fees. So are you guys going to make like periodic updates to the contract to deal with gas and stuff like that?
We're so the contracts that are deployed are being constantly refined and updated. So like they've even been, since we even deployed the actual omakavc contract, the contract has already gone through one revision and been updated and made more gas efficient and had like extra functionality implemented in it. The In terms of the gas, we actually um, when you buy the lifetime license, we actually refund your first mint. So the gas that you pay for your first deployment, we refund. So your license comes with a single mint for free. After that, you are responsible for paying the gas for deployment. Um, and that of course depends on what time of day it is, what the gas, how much gas
Right.
costs on the network, et cetera, et cetera. Deploying NFT contracts is not inexpensive. It can run up to 1 ETH to deploy a contract if gas is high. Right now, gas is significantly lower than we deployed. It would probably be around 0.3 or 0.4 ETH at the current time. And then another interesting thing that we've implemented is this idea that our goal ultimately is for deployments for the lifetime license holders to ultimately become free based on revenue from the marketplace and revenue from the marketplace and revenue from the unlicensed mints, which will be made available in like the second or third course of the offering, to basically be gas refunded by the DAO effectively staking the Ethereum in the contract, or converting it to USDC and staking it in Curve DAO to earn a yield, and then sell that yield for ETH that can then be used to refund gas that's utilized by the lifetime license holders. So
That's awesome. So I have one more thing. So for your marketplace, what would it take for someone to get featured on the marketplace or to release with the marketplace?
yeah, so the marketplace is realistically probably like to my UI UX guy is like a real. I mean, you guys, if you saw the videos, you see how clean he does
Oh yes.
everything.
Yep, it's really good.
So, to get everything really snappy and responsive, we are going to use OpenSea's contracts so that no one has to like come and reapprove their store or reapprove listing of any of the tokens they've already listed. And it will effectively function just like OpenSea, but all license holders will receive basically a verified check mark on any of their listings. So,
Okay,
yeah.
that's
Yeah, and
cool.
this your product. This might be a stupid question, but just making sure I could do a minting event with your product that would appear on like OpenSea, right? Like any Ethereum.
Absolutely, 100%. It can appear on OpenSea. It can appear on Infinity. This is not like this actually deploys your own smart contract. So you get to set your token ID. You get to set the ticker of the token. All of that. So like you have a fully customized contract that you've passed all the custom values into, that you have ownership of, that you can start and stop minting. You can pre-mint tokens. You can convert the contract to a DAO. You can list that contract as a listing on OpenSea. OpenSea can access all of the metadata from the contract. Yeah, it's fully interoperable. So
I
Um,
definitely want to do a
I,
one-on-one with you if possible with the NDA and stuff. I
yeah,
want to
yeah.
talk to you as soon
Just
as possible.
Tara, if you're listening, just message Tara and ask her to get you a non-disclosure agreement. You can
Okay.
send me one, or I can have one of my assistants send you one via DocuSign. And like, yeah, I mean, dude, our senior dev ET, it's like, when he puts the GitHub up and like the GitHub is linked, like everyone will see that like he has probably thousands of commits to the MetaMask source,
Mhm.
like thousands of commits to MetaMask itself. So like, yeah, I mean, we actually like one of the reasons we saw this is we're like, damn, OpenSea is kind of broken, and there's no place that people can create generative art mints without having to like have do at least some work in a command line. And we just wanted a tool that would let people do this without doing any work in a command line whatsoever. Like zero command line interaction. Literally connect your wallet, have your metadata ready, upload your metadata, click through all of the prompts, pay the gas fee. You now own a custom contract on the Ethereum blockchain.
and you
Done.
don't worry about like Coinbase NFT like dropping a bomb on the entire space and being like, yeah, we're like offering this, now this is like part of our platform and like,
So I'm actually having my attorneys file for like a provisional patent on the utility, and a utility patent.
And usually, like for them, they're not going to like want to go through the developmental debt. So like what we would do is probably just like create a series of business licenses for like larger platforms and literally just like sell them licensing to use the tool and then share some of that revenue with the original license holders. You know, like
Yeah.
why would they want to build what's already been built before? Like if they could just get something out of the box and then white label it for them, then like all good. But the reality is like they're fine stopping at the low hanging fruit, just like OpenSea is. Like, why hasn't OpenSea built this, bro? You'd think they would have. They sold 16,000 fucking ETH last month from fees. Why haven't they upgraded their UI? Why haven't they built any more features? Because like they don't care. They're
Yeah,
just about
they
low hanging
they
fruit.
made hundreds of millions.
Bro, 16,500 ETH and 16,575 ETH in the last 30 days. I've been
Jesus
watching their
Christ.
wallet. And they sold all of it, dude. They sold 100% of it, which means that OpenSea is
It's
not
tanking way in
even
price
in support of
of this ETH.
Ethereum.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're literally just dumping all over everyone all the time.
Man, the good thing about this space is that there are a lot of people like you guys and a lot of the projects that are like, man, fuck regular business. It sucks. It
Yeah,
just sucks.
I mean, dude, like we built something that we think has real utility and value, and like it's not the most expensive thing you can buy. Like there are lots of people who pay 5 ETH for NFTs that don't have nearly the value that these do. And like if we mint out all of the NFTs, like we're gonna get paid pretty generously, and we're gonna be able to pay our artists and our team and give bonuses to people and continue building cool stuff for the project for time to come and like afford the maintenance and everything like that. And like it, like we're not getting rewarded for building this, but we are decentralizing the utility and like allowing other people to have access to the upside. Like just the fact that I think just the fact that we're promoting it is something where it's like we want people to go out there. Like I want people like you guys to displace the Indian dev stacks on Fiverr that charge $15,000 for like a really shoddy fork job and like run away with people's money and take 3 weeks to get something done. Like I want people to know like, hey, I can contact one of these omakavc license holders and they'll get my mint done for me. And like I can share some of the revenue with them. And then those people can take care of all the marketing and creating all of the art, right? So it's like we're spreading out the value through the ecosystem. And like, yeah, we only get 5 ETH for someone to be able to use the tool over and over again and create lots of revenue with it, or potentially create lots of revenue. But like if we get 5,000 ETH for the total mint, like we're totally happy, bro. It's enough. It's more than enough. Like we don't need to own the entire marketplace. If we can just unseat OpenSea and give everyone a utility to have like these different DAOs, DAOs that now can all own a stake in omakavc and have their own communities around them, then like that's good enough for us. And like our primary goal is that like we're in support of decentralized finance. And like we think the fact that OpenSea sends all of their ETH to Coinbase and sells it for fiat every time they get it is like kind of trashy and adversarial.
Yeah, insane. I didn't know they were doing it. That's actually insane.
I mean, you can see it right on chain. You can see it right on chain. Goes to Coinbase. Oh, and by the way, if you want to know like when to short ETH, just follow the OpenSea wallet. Yep. And like whenever OpenSea sends ETH to Coinbase, put a short on ETH because it's dumping right afterwards.
Oh. You said something about, or correct me if I'm wrong, you said something about the lifetime holders will receive a percentage of something, or did I make that up?
So the lifetime holders aren't guaranteed to receive anything, but all of the revenues generated by the platform after the initial mint. So like once all of the lifetime licenses are minted, the revenues generated, for example, by like the the open mint where people, when they don't have a license, can come use the platform, but the platform charges them 20% of their mint fees, right? Those fees are going to actually go to the omakavc smart contract, which is an on-chain DAO, which means that then all of the license holders will be able to get together and propose a use of funds. So they can propose to distribute those funds pro rata to the license holders, like to batch send them to license holders. They could propose to use them to buy back and burn because obviously when we release the token staking contract, the NFT staking contract, we're going to demonstrate it on our tokens, right? So we'll release a staking contract where you can stake the licenses and get an ERC20 token, but we're not going to add any liquidity to that token. But people from the DAO could choose to use that revenue to add liquidity to that token and do buybacks and burns, or they could choose to batch send it. But at that point, it's literally based on the on-chain governance of the license holders signing transactions and proposing what they want to do with those funds. The funds literally belong to the community with a functional on-chain governance mechanism.
And how do you do one-offs if, like, you say you have a generative art minting event? How would and you wanted to say like insert just like, for example, my project is all generative. I've got 8 what I'm calling like hyper rares or whatever.
Yeah, one of a
How would I?
kind. Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's really easy. So basically, what it is each of those individuals that are the hyper rares that have all of the specific traits would basically that completed hyper rare one would be embedded as a full top layer that only appeared one time in the collection. And
and it
because
could be
that layer,
it could be a GIF because everything else is like PNGs. So it could be a GIF that like because I like all the hyper rares are all animated, right? So everything else is a still image, but the hyper rares are animated as GIFs.
yeah. So like I said, like if you want to do animation, it depends on the context of the project, but there are some contexts in which we actually recommend centralizing your metadata, and that would allow you to have like fully animated GIFs. Like to any degree, you could actually have HTML5 embedded directly in the NFT, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I might
So
have
you
to
could have
like.
a whole You could have a
Okay.
whole so it depends on who you're marketing your product to, right? And like there like if you want like just 5 of the collection to be specific specific, I guess it's like those ones are not actually randomly generated then, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, it is possible to do that. And it just comes down to like basically like it comes down to how the metadata is pinned. So like it would be something that like to do it in our platform, like we would have to have some of our support staff kind of like walk you through how to make that happen. But yes, it is possible. That functionality is possible. So
Cool.
I have another question. Let's say we just wanted to keep it simple at first, right? And I just want to take my collection of 10,000, put them into the application, select the rarity and stuff like that, and then just mint that one collection and get a link to the link to the website, or be able to mint it on the website. However, can I like do that? Like, can I like mint on the website as well? Like on a
uh,
website, can I have like a countdown timer, or the
yeah,
mint function or something like that?
you mean can you have a mint function on your own website?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that would come down to your web developer basically calling the webhook to
Okay.
interact with the contract ABI, and yes, 100%. Effectively, your developer would put a button on your website in React, and the React script would say, call send information to MetaMask plugin on Chrome with this data and this contract address and this amount of ETH, and then the MetaMask would then publish a transaction to the blockchain that interacted with the contract, and it would mint the NFT. And like I said, we're working on I have to check. Like, it's not going to come, like I said, in the first course or the MVP, but we're working on first being able to deploy the very first version that it'll come in is we'll basically like spit out a code snippet that you can give to your devs, right? And then
Okay.
the second version will be like a full like actual landing page deployer. So you'll actually be able to design and deploy an entire landing page for your Artment, just like a Wix page in our platform.
So when's the
So,
timeline for that? Or do you have a timeline for that?
I mean, it's really like I can't rush the front. That's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
all front end dev. I can't rush them. I know that everything is already spec'd, and it'll just be about like when they get to it. But I know that it's literally the first thing on the roadmap after the MVP. So
Okay,
it's
so
like, but
okay,
but like I said, finding a front end and React devs are far more plentiful than back end devs. Like
oh
if
yeah,
you if and especially if you're not trying to build like a complex web app that's like multiple smart contract calls or doing swaps or like interacting with a bunch of different contracts, like you literally need one button to publish one transaction. You can probably get that done for like between like 0.25 and zero point 0.5 ETH. You can get like the entire mint page done, you know?
So, what I was gonna say, all right. So let's say we have the Mint thing ready. We use what you have initially. Um, Now after we do that first Mint and it sells out, if it sells out, probably sell out. But once that's done, and we move on to the second contract, and we want people from the first contract to be able to be whitelisted for the second. Can we add that functionality later?
Yeah, because like I said, that's a function called balance of, right?
Right.
So you actually have to add that functionality later because
Okay.
it's the second contract referencing the first one, not the first one that references the later ones.
Okay. Cool.
Right? So it's each subsequent contract needs to reference the the previous token balance. So you actually have to deploy that one first, and then you have the balance of function basically looks at the message sender, the wallet that's attempting to mint. It looks at their address and says, does this address have one of these tokens from this other contract in it? Yes or no? If yes, let them mint. If no, do not let them mint.
So if they purchase on a secondary market, it would still be okay because that NFT is
Yep.
still from that first contract.
Still from that first contract, exactly.
Okay.
Which, like,
Oh,
if
yeah,
you know, if you
good to
if you
go.
use any of the other public NFT minting utilities, it wouldn't be possible, right? Because if you make an NFT on OpenSea, that NFT is an NFT from OpenSea's contract.
Yep.
It's an 1155 from OpenSea's lazy minting, right? So it's not like you don't have a contract that you own with a ticker and all that stuff. So yeah, it was built like we built this utility with these types of functionality in mind. And like of course there are going to be edge cases that pop up. And if an edge case pops up multiple times, such that like it doesn't look like an edge case, it looks like it's a function that there's demand for, then we'll implement the ability to deploy those functions.
What about tokens? Do you have any plans to allow tokens to be created?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Is we're going to deploy a utility that allows people to deploy a fungible token, which has the ability to dynamically turn on or off staking of other tokens into that
Right.
token's
Yeah. Okay.
contract. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So that
Yeah.
would be a fungible token contract. So it could be a fixed supply that people could claim once from, or it could be an infinite supply that people could stake into and get a block reward from. And that will basically have the same type of front end user interface where you would set the variables that you want into the contract. And then the contract, on our server, the contract has those values passed on to our server. And then once those values are passed on into the contract is deployed and ownership of that contract is passed to you. So
Okay. Sounds awesome. I'm ready to move. I love it.
Yes.
It's awesome.
Yeah, so we're not live yet. We're
Yeah.
the MVP will be finished and ready for launch probably. We thought we were going to be ready by tomorrow, and actually we may still be. I'm going to call ET after I'm off here. We may still be ready by tomorrow, but as of last night when he was testing the front end, he found a couple of bugs in it that some of our junior devs had they'd made a couple things, but like most of the bugs are just with things like it's just like the error messages and stuff, right? Like the whole app functions perfectly. It's just like we have all like the clean stuff so that like if you like if there's an issue minting or if like one of your files isn't compiled in the right format or something like that, it displays you like a nice graphic error message that says like, oh, there's something's wrong. Please go back and correct this, and then he's also as of last night, he was implementing save states so that like if you leave the website or close your window or your computer turns off, your exact position in your project is cached on our servers so that you can just pick up right where you left off, basically, in your profile.
Yeah,
What's
like it's
the
totally
likelihood
easy.
of say somebody like Coinbase wants to just buy you out completely, or OpenSea wants to buy you out completely? What in that scenario? What would happen to the lifetime licenses?
Well, if they wanted to buy us out, like the lifetime licenses would have to be grandfathered in, or we would have to buy back the lifetime licenses. And like in all likelihood, it would just be a software licensing agreement, right? And because our licenses are all also generative art pieces, right? So each of the licenses actually has rarity and numismatic value, and then we've also hidden like gamified Easter eggs, like treasure hunt Easter eggs in the licenses. So there's like some sort of cryptographic treasure hunt type of thing going on inside of the licenses that people have to discover. So like if someone like that came and wanted to acquire us, like they would be dealing with a very, very stringent negotiator. And like I would, like it would be like there's not really an incentive for us. Like we know how much we set, how much we wanted to make off of this project based on the mint price and the number of tokens that are there, and like we're happy with that. And like we're gonna make some upgrades and continue building cool tools, which are, like I said, all we build things that we want to have access to, right? So it's like we're building things that we want to use. Like the reason that this tool exists is because I wanted it for myself. I
Yeah.
didn't want to have to, like, every time I had an idea for an NFT collection, I didn't want to have to go to my devs and be like, hey, can you fork another contract and do this? And like, I definitely didn't want to spend time in the command line myself. So I was like, hey guys, can we just build like a graphic user interface that like lets an assistant put together a mint for us? And we were like, yeah, let's do it. We thought about it for a while, and we were like I said, originally this was literally going to be an in-house tool so that when people like you guys came to us and were like, hey, I want to do a generative art mint, I could be like, okay, cool. You have all your art ready? Yeah. Okay, great. It's 15 grand. All right, send the 15 grand. Okay, your contract, like I call you back 2 hours later and be like, okay, your contracts are deployed. Give me the address you want
You're good.
ownership on.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
but like I said, that means that I still have to do the sales. I still have to do the client side interactions. So what I reasoned is it's better like sell licenses, sell a license to 1,000 different people, and then they can do client side interactions. They can do sales. We don't make necessarily as much money, but we make a smaller sum of money more rapidly, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
If if Coinbase wanted to buy them out, they would have to offer them like probably over a billion. It's a big. It has a big upside on this project, I believe.
Yeah, and all of our
It
back
would have to
end
be
code is
over a billion, like
all of our
billions.
back end code is closed source, right? So it's like they could go and try and find
Why would you
Solidity.
sell?
They
It's
could
like
go and try.
selling Google. Why would you
They,
sell Google?
they could go and try and find developers who could build what we could build. But the reality is, our developer is literally a top 1% dev. Like our senior dev is literally a top 1% dev. Like I'll tell you guys right now that the founder of MetaMask, Aaron, I live in Bali, right? And Aaron lives here too. He's in the US right
You
now
guys
because he's
are
been doing
Bali
meetings.
guys. Okay.
He's been doing meetings with Consensus and stuff like that. And like he like dude, we all just hang out at my house and play Super Smash Bros and trade DeFi and sit there with like 10 big ass whiteboards and come up with ideas for new smart contracts and new tooling and things like that we can build. So like we're actually like we built this. You notice these are NFT DAO contracts. So it's like this is actually just the first part of like we're working on like a bunch of other cool stuff in our dev stack too, which is like a desktop app that's like a power user app for DeFi that allows people to interact with DeFi protocols without like the front end limitations that come when you're on like Sushi Swap or Pancake Swap or anything like that, like the caching issues in their front end and shit like that, because like you have a desktop app running and you're not like waiting for stuff to load from their server. You're able to just like interact directly with the smart contracts through a desktop app and customizable widgets and stuff like that in the app. But like we're, like this is just like it was the first tool that we saw, which is like we need non-fungible token DAOs, which like that in and of itself, if you guys go and look at this contract, we are the first people to deploy an ERC 721 contract that implements non-fungible tokens as the governance tokens of a DAO with on-chain voting and dynamic function calls. And we know that for a fact because literally our contract is the maximum size allowable by Solidity.
Oh,
Like
wow.
we literally were just able to fit it in, and like we had to go through like maybe 15 or 20 iterations that like weren't capable of being deployed because the contracts were too large, and we're finally able to like get all of the functionality we wanted with the security and have it pared down to a size where like you understand that these NFT contracts are effectively multi-sigs too, right? Like you could deploy one of these contracts and have 3 NFTs and give, one to each of 3 people and then make it a 2 of 3 multi-sig. And like you could have Chris's real life NFT, Hyperhex NFT, and Coma NFT. And now you guys all have a multi-sig that's not just wallet governed, but NFT governed. And the advantage of that is when you create a multi-sig, the signature is tied to a wallet address, right? So if that wallet is compromised, you need to create a new multi-signature wallet. Or if you lose the key store to that wallet, you have to create a new multi-sig wallet and send all of the funds out of that old wallet. With this, you could actually just move the NFT to a new wallet, and now that NFT, whoever's holding the NFT is the new signer.
Wow.
So that generative art NFT is basically acting like that's what gives you access to the platform to deploy your smart contract, basically. Like
correct. And our contract. Go ahead. Sorry.
I know. I'm just trying to keep up with you here because like it's
like it's like giga based, bro. Like the number of things that you can do with this. Like I was explaining to people like just like touching on what you could do with like sub DAOs, right? So like for example, and like we're gonna launch some projects with the utility to kind of demonstrate some of the cool things that people can do so they can like get their wheels turning. But like for example, like I could launch one master DAO, right? And that master DAO could have like 12 governance tokens or 13 governance tokens. Then I could launch 13 more DAOs, 13 more NFT contracts, right? So imagine there's like the nation contract, and then I have like tribe 1, tribe 2, tribe 3, tribe 4, et cetera, up to tribe 12. And then each of those contracts can control how many NFTs they mint. But the top level contract has ownership access to each of those other contracts, meaning like if 7 of the 13 tribes all vote together, they could control the functions of one of the other tribes' contract.
I have something that might really, you guys might actually want to talk to Divine Anarchy. unless you're already talking to them.
No, who's Divine Anarchy?
So
They're trying to build something like that.
no, they have they have a sold out NFT. They're really big, really good project. But they have something exactly like that, but they're doing it. I think they're doing it manually, and they don't have
Of course they are.
yeah.
Of course, they want to talk to us, dude, because
Yeah,
they're like,
yeah,
they're doing it with
that's insane.
snapshots and all types of like, it's what I call pseudo decentralized,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, pseudo.
So it's like it's decentralized because they're culpable to their holders, but it's not. So the way my quote is, it's decentralized in name but not on chain. This
Yep.
is decentralized on chain, right? Like this is on
That's
chain
becoming
governance of the
keyword
contracts.
now. It's on chain. That's been like lately. I've been hearing it a lot. Like a lot of people trying to get everything on chain.
Yeah, I mean, dude, there are lots of quote unquote DAOs out there, but in the eyes of the law and in the eyes of regulators and in the eyes of like computer science, they're not actually DAOs. They're just groups of people calling themselves a DAO and like kind of acting like one, but the developers still have the keys to the kingdom.
Yeah. Yep.
Like with this, you can actually so here's another example, right? You could actually convert a project to a DAO before you start minting, and then the DAO would actually receive 100% of the funds from the mint, and your NFTs would be 100% asset backed.
Oh wow.
You know, there's all types of
we
cool
need
stuff
a
that you can do.
101. I need to talk to you guys and decide how we're gonna do this. All
Yeah,
right, so
man. I mean,
I need one of those tokens. I want to guarantee. I need a whitelist spot for the token.
yeah. So apply, dude. Apply for it. There's like the first thing to do is to get yourself a role. So you go to the kitchen jobs section and click the link and get yourself one of the roles. And then there'll be some announcements coming up about the pre-sale and whitelist. And then we'll probably run the platform for about 1 week, allowing like the pre-salers and whitelisters to have access to it. And then we'll open up access to the main mint, and then like our plan is basically to just do a feature creep, and like we're not worried about the licenses selling out fast, right? Like we're not trying to build hype and like get all the licenses minted out. We want the right people and the right community to form around this project who understand like what the value is, and then we have a bunch of in-house artists as well. So like for example, when you get an omakavc license, when you actually create your first collection, we airdrop you a generative avatar that you can only get by actually creating a collection with the license.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And then there are going to be a number of other like free mints and things like that people earn by interacting and participating with the ecosystem. So, and I think that also like just the chat will be fire, right? Because this is where all the people who are creating the mints that are going to be coming from are going to be.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So it's like
Yep.
you'll also get all the earliest alpha on like what projects are coming down the pipeline, what people are building, what they're going to be doing, meet people you can collaborate with, meet artists who could potentially create art for you. So like this means that like someone could get one of these. The way I say is like, dude, someone could get one of these and literally go to Fiverr and just hire someone to generate art for them. And then like if they're a good marketer, they could do the mint. And like the way I explained it, I mean, my friend Raul asked me, he's like, you should really just explain it based on the development costs. So that's what I've primarily been doing. But if we talk about like what's possible with minting, dude, if you have 200 NFTs at 0.1 a piece and you pay 5 ETH for the license and you have a series of 200 generatives that are 0.1 a piece, you bring in 20 ETH.
Yep.
Your COGS is 5 ETH plus your marketing, your time, your social media, your development. But like that's kind of what I recommend to people is it's like, well, dude, instead of trying to do your big blockbuster mint first, what if you just
take your time?
Take your time. What if you just try and do a small mint? You recoup your costs, you get your money, you learn about how to run a community, how things go right, how things don't go right, and you get 20 ETH back off of your 5. Like how hard is it in this day and age to mint out 200 NFTs for 0.1?
Yeah.
Will there
Like,
be, for lifetime licensee holders, will there be any type of like say like marketing boost from the omakavc team, or like will there be like, I'm wondering because like
yeah, for
this
sure. Of course, we're gonna feature anything that's getting minted on our platform. We're gonna be featuring everything that gets deployed and gets minted, unless we like. I mean, just so you know, like we are also going to have a terms of service with the license. Like, I don't want someone minting Nazi propaganda. I don't
for
want
sure.
someone minting some racist shit. I don't want someone minting like hyper sexist shit. Like, like edgy shit, I'm okay with. But stuff that's blatantly like violent or hate, like we don't necessarily want it associated with our brand, right? But
Absolutely.
of course we want to promote everyone's projects, dude. Yeah, we want to promote people's projects. We're going to create a marketplace for people to sell their projects on with lower fees than OpenSea. We're going to we'll feature people on our Twitter. You know what I mean? Like, we'll feature people on our homepage. Duh.
I'm just like the biggest part, like sometimes I feel like the NFT space is like it's like more marketing than it even is art, and I know that like it's like if the community is not there on the artist's part, then they're not gonna like even get close to selling out.
I think
So
that's mostly with the low effort and lackluster art or collections that are non-generative. Like, from what I've seen, if there's a generative collection that has like actually really cool art, it gets picked up. It may not get Ponzi'd up, right? It may not get traded up. The floor may not go up, but in general, like a good portion of them will get minted. So
yeah. Man, I'm excited for this, dude. Like, I'm so pissed though because I had 15 ETH sitting in my Coinbase, and now I'm in this stock play, and now I'm just debating like, what do I want to do? Do I want to like exit this and like, I really want to try this whitelisting thing because I can come up with 2.5 ETH probably, and but I guess you used to sign up the kitchen. What about what about the kitchen thing to pick a role? Oh, kitchen jobs.
yeah, kitchen jobs. So to be eligible for the whitelist, you got to pick a role in kitchen jobs. You got to say you're either like an artist or creator or a developer.
Okay, definitely a sous chef for sure.
Yeah, and then that's basically like what it is, and we're gonna offer the list and then like just put it out there, and like we want people who are interested, and like I said, like this is for this project to succeed, it's gonna be all about having like an awesome community. And like you'll notice there are a bunch of other artists in here. There are people who are good at marketing, like this dude Coma right here. If you see how good our Discord is, you like our Discord, high quality, you need a Discord set up and done all nice with all the bot protection and all the stuff, like we've got a guy right here who will help you do it. So like that's kind of what it is. Like we're looking to be like a one-stop shop where it's like even if someone didn't even have an artist, they could come here and there are sick fucking artists in here who could get your fucking collection generated for you.
Can I ask question? Well, I keep asking questions, but like, can I act? Well, I'm just gonna ask it. Can I link my Discord for the project I'm working on, or is that like a big taboo thing in this place? I don't want to. I want to ask.
What do you mean? Of course you can, dude. There's actually
I
a
don't want to be
section.
like shilling myself, but like I
No,
really.
dude, that's the whole point, bro. That's the whole point. You see the section that's called self promo under Creative Kitchen? You
There we
can
go.
self promotion, bro. We have a fucking section for that. You can self promote, and then
My Discord's like decked out, dude. Like I like I want you guys to see it, but all right, I'm gonna
dude,
pop it.
I like your project, dude, and you're meeting one of the qualifiers for why we would like whitelist something, because like that's one of our questions. Like, what are you doing that's unique? And like you're actually having the community help. The art is partially community generated, right?
Yeah, like let me tell you, this is like alpha or whatever, but I did that to like buy time while the community was growing because I know that this whole space has ADD like crazy. Like if you don't if you announce something and you don't launch within 3 weeks, I feel like they're gone. So I've really been trying to get the community involved and I've been like hand doing all of these pieces but it's cool because like they get a piece of the project, like their suggestion will be named after them or whatever they want, to a certain extent, and then it'll be living in this project, forever, and they can be like, oh yeah, like I suggested that piece.
Right. It's driving engagement, bro. And that's what we're looking for here, dude. And like I just think like also just think about what this community is going to be like, right? Like it's an NFT that's a 5 ETH starting NFT. Like what's the group of people who are going to end up in this chat like?
Yeah.
Like are those people
Curious,
you
I'll
want to
tell you
have
that.
are those people you want to have relationships with or not? Like I would say yeah, probably like those are the based people. You know, like they're creators, they're community managers. Like this kind of becomes like the fountainhead, right? Where it's like this is the fountainhead of the NFT culture, and like we're enabling people to genuinely form their own on-chain communities. You know, like genuine on-chain governance, everything that's necessary, and like, dude, the coolest thing is because of the way the functions are done in these contracts, it actually allows people to even give their contracts an ENS name. So like because of the way that was like actually so in the actual MasterChef Masatoshi contract, we're gonna have to wait until the mint finishes to give it its ENS name. Because that was like one of the things that in the update that we've already pushed to it, it actually allows you to give your smart contract an ENS name. So like your NFT contract can actually own its own ENS and be registered to an ENS name. So like you could actually have your collection name .eth is your contract address.
Super sick.
Yeah, I like everything. The more you talk, the more I need it.
Yeah,
Bro,
exactly.
we're based, dude. Like,
I have seven.
imagine like a couple of fucking based whale fucking devs
I know.
built their dream product, and that's what this is.
Yeah,
Like,
that's pretty much what it
that's what
is.
this is, bro.
And it's
Like,
but it's what everybody wanted though. It's what is exactly what everyone
yeah,
wanted.
of
Like
course, dude. It's what everyone wanted, dude.
it's exactly what everyone
It's what the
wants.
marketplace needed because honestly, bro, like, dude, you think I don't have devs who work for me? Like, we have our core team, and then you know how many like people we've like hired or thought about hiring? Like, I know better than anyone how flaky devs can be, dude, because I've had to let go of like fucking 20 of them this year. Like,
Yeah,
pay devs to get work done and they just disappear.
yeah.
Contact me back 3 weeks later, like, oh, I got someone who was going to pay me more money for less work. It's like, okay, you know,
Man,
like,
that
okay,
was a hell of a pass. Passing on this project is a hell of a pass. I tell you, if I could develop for it and buy the token, I would. I'd develop on
bro,
it for free for the token.
like this is what's like this is how it's going down, dude, and like
Those tokens worth so much money. I don't understand. Like, I need the token.
bro, that's we created real value, dude. Like, did you hear when we were in the Twitter spaces, the dude who came on after, he's like, oh, you got to check people who audited them, blah, blah, blah. He's like, because we have real utility. I was like, not like mine,
Oh
bro.
my god,
Like, oh,
bro.
you
Yeah.
made another
That's
fucking.
As soon
what I
as
was talking about. That's the guy I was talking
yeah,
about
as
before.
soon as he started talking, it was like anybody with any type of mentality or any type of connection to the space understood that was you were the only person that needed to be speaking in that space.
Yeah,
Pure
no.
hate, dude. Pure hate, dude. Because here's the thing: is he built a single game. He spent all
Yeah.
this dev debt to build a single game, and I built a tool that's
Yep.
going to allow thousands of people to build products that compete with his.
This is why I want to talk to you so bad because in this is the future. It's this type of stuff. So it's this, and then the metaverse has the same component, but it's in this type of stuff. Like I gotta talk to you.
Bro, tool builders, bro. They're tool
Yeah, tool
builders and
builders,
tool
man.
users. And we built a tool that creates tools. We built
Yep.
a tool factory, bro. And that's what this is omakavc is literally a tool factory. It's a blockchain tool factory, bro. And like no one has that right now. Like people have built like just like rinky dink stuff that doesn't have a nice UI, that's not snappy and responsive, that doesn't have a clean graphic user interface. Like it's just, we are really like honestly, bro, we're pretty proud of this product, and it's been like a long time and a lot of work, like a lot of late night conversations,
Yeah.
a huge amount of grinding. Like, dude, we have a big team. Like, imagine like you got four really smart people who are like debating about the flow of exactly how things should happen, and like what are the color schemes, and like what's the branding and all this stuff. And like the whole concept behind omakase is like, omakase dining is like
I
the
love it.
finest of fine dining, right? It's like a
Hmm.
prefix menu where it's the chef's choice.
Yep.
And my idea is that like I went to OpenSea one day and I was like, this is like a fucking high school cafeteria for NFTs.
It's a shit
I
show.
was like,
It's
I
a
was like,
shit show.
where's my fucking fine dining? Where's my fucking omakase meal? Like, I want the fucking
Hmm.
omakase of NFTs. And then I was like, oh, omakase. I was like, oh, omakase. Like, it was just like natural, right? I was like, oh, this is such a funny joke. Like, we're just gonna troll OpenSea, dude, and build a way better product that actually has decentralization. Like, no, yes, you can make NFTs with it. No, you can't just make like an NFT that's basically worthless because it's literally just a JPEG. Like, we only let you make generative art collections where you own the smart contract. And then when we deploy a marketplace, because we got paid for those licenses for the tool that we built, the actually on-chain utility of being able to deploy smart contracts, then that means that we can actually share that marketplace revenue with those license holders, with the people who are creating the art for the marketplace.
Yep. I
Duh.
can literally take that token. I can take that token and just troll around Twitter and mint everyone's projects for them. It's
Bro.
it's
Bro,
it's
there's way more
insane.
demand than supply. If
There's way more
everyone in
demand.
this chat right now were all trolling Twitter Spaces offering the same
We would
service,
have two. We wouldn't
everyone
be able
would
to do it.
all have more
Yeah.
business than they could
Yep.
deal with right now.
We
Every
too
single
busy.
person.
Well, you know what's shocking me is why is like Chris and I the only like there's how many people in here? Like I don't know. I heard what you said in that space, and I was like, there's going to be 1,000 people in this group, and I don't know. Like I
I'm
feel like
glad it's
Oh, there,
not.
oh, there
I'm
will.
glad it's not. Not
There,
yet. Not until
there
I get
will
my
be,
token.
dude. But it's like a lot of people don't understand because when I talk, it's like a fire hose of information. So a lot of people don't hear the keywords. It doesn't click for people. They don't
Yeah.
understand. They don't
I heard.
understand what's actually being offered, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
that's
like
how I felt.
that's
It was like it's like drowning. Like you're above water breathing, and then you're like underwater. But you gotta listen when you're above water. You gotta listen, and then when you drown, it's okay. But when you come back up, you gotta fucking listen. He's like, man,
I was
it's
when you
insane.
were talking. I was like 100, 100, 100. I kept.
Dude, and then you real what you realize is like you're above water, and then you're drowning, and then you're above water, and then you're drowning, and then like you realize you're actually sitting in like a small bathtub full of spring water in the middle
Yeah.
of a fucking desert. And you're like, oh my God, I can drink this shit.
This is the
Like,
place. Yeah. Oh, you can drink. Oh, there's snacks. There's snacks too.
bro, and that's what it is. And like, dude, we have people in our community. We've worked on development on other projects, like had people hostily come at us, try and like FUD our projects to death. And dude, we've got a strong ass community of people who know what our integrity level is, like know that we don't stop working even when there's basically no financial incentive for us to continue working. Like Ginger Snap will tell you, hey, Ginger Snap, do I stop working even if there's no financial incentive for me to continue working? Even if I have to pay out of my own pocket to keep getting shit done?
Nah, dude. You keep working.
Bro, we
You put in
love
the
this
hours,
shit.
dude.
This is the project that you FUD because it's gonna disrupt. It's gonna disrupt all the bullshit. Literally cut them
Bro,
right out.
did you see how fast the dude who was like launching another Ponzi game, like
Oh
another
yeah.
NFT Ponzi game, he started funny. He's like, you got to make sure they're doxxed. You got blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, dude, like our dev's GitHub is doxxed. Like, and he has like fucking 5,000 commits to the MetaMask repository. Like you think we're joking, dude? Like, why would you make a claim like that in this space and it not be true? Like, that's just the instant someone proves that it isn't true, like your entire thing is just dead, dude.
Yep.
Like what? What?
Oh man, this is amazing.
Yeah, bro,
Yeah.
and I'm super excited. I'm excited for people like you guys who have like an entrepreneurial mindset. I honestly think like a lot of the people who get in first are gonna be people who have that entrepreneurial mindset and are like, well, fuck, like all I gotta do is get this thing, and if I can do like fucking even 3 mints and get people who have good art or good projects and who are gonna give me a percentage of those mints, or like if I do 10 mints and just charge people a flat fee of 10 grand to do it, I still made an extra fucking 80 grand for the year.
Yeah,
Like,
even like so I'm like whenever you invest, you're like, all right, so what are my risks? But it's like even if I mint and it fucking fails, I can still get five. I'm gonna get the 5 ETH back for that token.
yeah,
Like
dude,
at the very like the minimum, like
Like what, dude?
like the minimum, I'm gonna get my 5 ETH back. So fuck, I'm buying this fucking token,
Bro,
man.
a total exactly, dude. A total face plant mint will
Yep.
still get you your 5 ETH back, dude.
Worst case, absolute worst case, I'm gonna get my money back.
100%, bro.
But
And the
I
reality
think
is,
it's
dude,
valuable.
the reality is, bro, check this out. Do you think I'm actually going to let anyone paper hand a license for below listing price? If someone mints a
Exactly.
license and tries to sell it below listing price, I'll buy it back.
Yep.
Fucking 100% refund guaranteed, dude. Like,
They're gonna
yo,
be.
you don't like it? I'll buy it back from you. Like, I'm
I
not going to
wouldn't
let
be
them flood the
surprised.
market.
I wouldn't
I'm
be
not
surprised
dumb.
if these licenses were like 50 ETH, like almost immediately.
Bro, once people figure it out, I think they will be. I mean, I think ultimately, if a few really successful collections get launched off the platform, I think the
Oh yeah,
licenses could go to 500 ETH because
yeah, easy.
then the platform is associated with credible and successful NFT collections, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
And
like
you
if
got to
one or
break
two
the.
collections moon, then all of these moon too.
Yep, and then you got to break the value of that down between 1,000, not 100 million, not a trillion tokens, 1,000.
Yup.
Hey,
Yup.
another question for you. Since I'm like really fighting for this whitelisting thing, if say that we're lucky enough to get selected or whatever, we by participating in that is a lifetime license, correct? Like it like basically
Yes,
turns.
bro. You're getting one of the lifetime licenses, one of the 1,111 generative pieces of art. Only 1,000 of them will ever be listed for sale. 111 of them are reserved for the team and artist grants, and you will be getting one of those licenses, and there will never be any more. It will be yours for the rest of your life if you choose to keep it, or you can sell it, or do whatever you want with it. It's yours.
Do you guys have you guys seem to have already accomplished so much? Is there like a I haven't watched the video yet, but is there like the type of like roadmap for like future
Bro,
plans, like
bro,
layout?
there's a Git book, and the roadmap is getting The roadmap is going to get published on uh, on announcement of the mint starting. So when the countdown goes live, the total roadmap will get published, bro. And that's how it's going down. And basically, like, I mean, just to let you know, right now, what's on the roadmap is like additional smart contract deployment features, landing page deployer, and marketplace. And those are the things that are on the roadmap as of right now. And like after that, we would consider it a finished product. But like if we come up with some crafty idea, then like and the additional smart contract deployment, right? Like any contract that we come up with, we now have the tools to make this tool deploy those contracts and pass ownership to people. So like I could technically already make this tool deploy like reflect tokens or pancake swap forks, like emissions forks, stuff like that. But we want to be kind of like, we want the contracts that it deploys to be like specifically related to NFTs, because we don't want like the name to get tainted by people like using it to deploy shit coins, right?
Yeah. And then they rug pull and then pull the platform down some.
Right, exactly. And that's why it's small. That's why we're not like super hyping it out there. That's why we're just like, we want the right people to join the community, because I have the sense that the people who get these licenses are going to hold them for a long time, because why would you sell the license when you can just do a mint for someone else?
Yep.
Like,
I want
like
to get
what?
the 5 ETH back on my project, let alone if I meant for anyone else. That's, man. So
Chris,
how do I guarantee? I want to guarantee a white spot. What do I
Chris, how
do?
big is your community? Like, I'm just curious because
I'm just,
I really worry about like my community size and when to launch. Like, how big is your community that you feel so sure that you will sell at least 5 ETH of your project?
I've only been advertising my project for like 2 days, and I have 260 followers. I haven't done any advertising other
Bro,
than just talking to
and
people.
that's the point. Like, bro, if your project is point one, and dude, you haven't even done a like join my fucking Discord, fucking done a
Nope,
whitelist chill, none
nope,
of that
none of
stuff
that.
yet, dude.
Nope.
None of it. So it's like, once you start doing that, it's like, as long as the art is good and the idea is cool, it's like, the question is, can you, the ultimate question is like, return on investment for the 5 ETH occurs when you can mint 50 NFTs at point one. So that means, like, for me, you have to have like 1,000 people in your group in total to guarantee that you mint 50
Yeah,
NFTs at point one.
Okay.
I sent you a sample of my art too, Chef. Master
Oh
Chef.
shit, let me check it. Hold on.
Yeah, that's just some of the early art. We're doing animation too. It doesn't have backgrounds or faces right now,
Chris,
or
what's your
different
Twitter, by
faces.
the way? What's your Twitter,
So,
Chris?
it's OSnap NFT or my name, or my
Uh,
name right here.
yeah, Chris, you will 100% get your 5 ETH back on these.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
100%, dude. 100%, bro. Like, especially just like I just love the aesthetic of the avatars, bro. That it's not like this like Anglo. It's not like the full Anglo fucking dude. You're totally hitting. It totally hits a demographic that is there buying NFTs that is
Hmm.
not being targeted effectively.
Yeah,
100%. 100%, bro. This is based.
Well, damn it! Now I need to send you my
good to
art
hear
just
it.
to get your critique really quick. What did I just message you?
Yeah,
Discord here.
just message us, bro. Chris, you're gonna Chris. This is you're gonna like,
That's
yeah, dude. Apply for the whitelist, dude.
that's the first of 5 characters in
Apply
a
for the
comic,
whitelist, dude.
and an animation is coming out too.
Yeah, your art's sick, dude. I really dig it, man.
Thanks. I'm the developer. The artist is my he's actually my cousin, but
Oh, dude, you killed it.
he's an art institute graduate. He's really good. He's really good.
Yeah, bro, he's really good. It's clean, it's sexy, like it's just yes, bro. Like yes. This is exactly what I'm looking for, dude. Is I want to see people who are bringing projects like this to the platform,
Yeah,
right?
we're doing so we're also, and we can talk about it more when we talk one on one, but we're doing 11% of our mint we're giving to charity, but we're gonna do on the ground charity because we're connected with a lot of them. We're also doing a lot
Bro,
of
bro,
stuff, and
bro. Let me explain something epic, dude. You know what our contracts allow?
what's
Don't
that?
give 11% to charity, dude. Stake stake a certain percentage of your mint in a staking platform like CurveDAO for the charity, and then give the charity the annuity from the
Oh my
staked
God.
funds.
I'm in, man. I'm in. I
Don't
didn't
you
even
don't,
think
bro?
about doing it. That is so much better.
Of course, dude.
Oh my
Charities can't
fucking
make
God.
investments.
Yeah.
Charities can't make investments, bro. So you do the mint. You put like $1 million in CurveDAO for them. They're
And
gonna get
then,
like 300 grand a
God.
year for the next 5 fucking years, bro.
That's insane. And then it's good for the platform too, and funded by
Yup,
OSnap NFT and Omakase. Like you
bro,
can't beat
dude,
it,
dude, I built,
which raises
I
the price of my token.
Dude, okay, so the DAO, so look, this is two things. The NFT deployment utility was an idea that I had to deal with clients, right? And then it turned into something that we could offer publicly. The DAO functionality was something that I built because like my kind of like adopted mother here in Indonesia she owns 140,000 hectares of secondary rainforest, bro. And the
Okay.
government here charges her like $15 million a year in taxes. And
Hmm.
her land is industrially zoned so that she wants it to, so that it's supposed to, she has to cut down trees basically to pay the taxes
Right.
every year. And the government wants her to cut down those trees. And she can't just like pay $15 million a year with no revenue because like that'll make anyone broke, even if you're a billionaire,
Right.
right? And so what I told her is like, well, why don't we do a for benefit NFT mint where 100% of the NFT mint sale goes into Curve DAO? That generates a yield, and then you can use that yield to build community services and pay the government the revenue that they wanted, and you don't need to cut any trees down. So what I'm
Literally.
probably gonna,
So
dude,
for
I'm gonna
five
hire,
ETH, I have one of the tokens that can do that for charities.
bro. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna call it it's gonna be called the based orangutan nature experiment operation Borneo DAO because the land is in Borneo, right? Based
Hmm.
orangutans, like instead of bored apes, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Based orangutans nature experiment operation, dude.
Hmm.
Like
And they're gonna sell out.
Borneo, bro. They'll sell,
They're
and
gonna sell out because they
none of
have
the
value
money from
too.
that project, none of the money from that project goes to anyone. It all gets staked in a staking protocol. The yield from the staking protocol goes to stop trees in a fucking secondary rainforest from getting cut down, dude. Save
Yeah.
orangutan habitat.
Yep. And that's people are gonna go mad when they find out that they can invest in that
Bro,
and making sure that doesn't happen.
and they get something of numismatic value that's going to
Yep.
grow in value, and then the fees from the exchange, the royalties from the exchange, continue to feed the treasury and grow it.
That is insane.
Bro, like my dad is on the board of an environmental nonprofit. If you go to
Hmm.
saveourplanet.org, it's called Social and Environmental Entrepreneurs. Like,
Yeah.
bro, we've worked with the Electronic Frontier Foundation. I started mining BTC in 2011. Like, this is like I've been in this industry. I got into ETH originally when it was like $6, dude. Like, we're not doing this for the money. Like, we want it to be profitable because you shouldn't do anything that doesn't create a
Exactly.
net return on energy, right? But like,
Yep.
we're all very comfortable already, right? Like, if we just wanted money, we could like run flash loans or like exploit protocols. Like, if I was just about money, like I could literally like I could run Oracle fucking attacks, dude. You know what I mean? Like so easy, you know?
Man, this is awesome.
I just sent. I want your opinion on how these are due on your platform. I sent you a bunch of different options. Um, I just messaged it to you on Discord.
Yeah, dude. 100% these would go.
Okay.
Dude. Oh, bro, I like this one that's all like crystal fucking
Yeah, that's
bro.
graphic, dude. That's a rare one, man.
I
Send
know
it
it
to me.
is,
Let me
dude. That
see.
thing's
Send me
oh, and
hyper.
bro. This
I
is the
got
sickest thing. Is our contracts create providence hashes, dude. So it'll be impossible for people to look at your metadata and snipe the rares from your collection before the metadata reveal.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because
it.
you know, a
Yeah.
lot of the time that's actually happening now, right? People don't
Yeah,
have a
yeah.
provenance hash, so
Yep.
people who are devs basically look at the contracts and then they go and inspect the metadata, and then they go through all the IPFS and they find the on-chain metadata and they figure out which ones are the rares, and then they go and buy the rares all up before the reveal for nothing, and it's like the same 10 people who are making all the money off NFTs. Bro, the white holographic one is fucking sick, dude.
I'm sending it to you right now, Chris. Hang tight.
Okay.
Dude, so sick. Oh, dude, and the one with the black and white tie-dye and the crystals, dude. What? Bro, the robot with the camo and the fucking snapback? What?
Okay, so I have another question. Okay, so let's say me and HyperX were like, man, we like our projects. Let's whitelist our our holders to our projects, whatever. Is that possible? Could we do
Yes.
that? Oh man.
Yes. Yeah, dude. Yeah, bro. And this is the craziest thing is that like people can form DAOs of DAOs, right? So like projects could literally merge using our platform too. If two projects on our platform launched, then those two projects could merge into a top level ecosystem. So like you could launch your avatars, he could launch his avatars, then you guys could create like a land contract and people could mint the land and then members of those communities could co-own the land contract.
Right. That's awesome.
Bro,
That's insane.
we built the entire thing to be dynamic and interoperable. That was our
Mhm.
entire goal, is like dynamic and interoperable.
That was
Dude,
kind of the idea we had with the whitelist system, but there's so much more you can do. There's like so much more.
sending
Yeah,
you some
bro.
stuff.
This is like, I'm telling you that when we deployed the contract, we literally looked at each other and we were like, we just made blockchain history. Like a lot of people don't get it, but like we literally made blockchain history. We're the first people to ever deploy an ERC 721 governance DAO, on-chain governance DAO. First people who ever did it in blockchain history, bro. And this will become the standard for NFTs, dude.
It definitely is. On-chain DAOs, they're definitely going to become the standard.
Like, bro. Okay, here you see the token contract that Coma posted.
In
Like
the chat here.
Yep.
Where is it at? Is it up?
In how it works.
Oh, how it works. Hold on one second. How it works. Cool. Yep.
Okay, so go click on that contract and go to
Mhm.
Etherscan.
Yep, I'm here.
Okay, and then do you know how to get to you know how in the little bar you can click on, it brings you to contract. So you see there are three buttons there. It says code, read contract, and write
Yep.
contract.
Mm-hmm.
All right, click on write contract.
Mm-hmm. I'm there.
Okay, now look at all of the functions. These are all of the functions.
Oh my God.
Look at all of the functions, bro. You have activate voting, approve voting, change percentage to vote, change voting duration, create voting, flip sale state, freeze percent to vote, freeze voting duration, mint tokens, permanently convert to DAO, pre-mint, renounce ownership, safe transfer from, set approval for all, set base token URI, set provenance hash, sign voting, transfer from, transfer ownership, withdraw, and withdraw tokens. Oh, by the
So
way, you can also set any token to be used as your you can set any token to be used as your
the voting mechanism?
minting token.
Oh, the minting token. Okay.
So you could mint with USDC if you wanted to. You could mint with wrapped BTC. Any of
Really?
those. Yeah.
Oh, that's insane.
Dude, Bro, we went for literally the overkill on this, dude. We
Yeah,
were like literally,
you were like, you know what? Let's just do it all. Let's do it all right.
dude, this contract is just as functional as a wallet. You can interact with any other contract. You realize you could start an NFT collection that was used to bid for and buy other NFTs,
Mm-hmm.
and people could collectively own a pool of other NFTs.
Yeah, which is
I
insane.
mean, I'm waiting for someone to do
That's
like
just, they
based
tried it with
curators.
Yeah, they tried that with the
Basically,
Constitution thing, but they were doing that off chain. The
it
Constitution dial, it wasn't even on
yeah,
chain.
yeah. You want to know why they're trying to why they had to do it off chain, dude?
They couldn't.
Because they couldn't figure out how to write the
They
contracts,
couldn't do
bro.
it.
Because dev's not based enough, bro.
That is insane, man. This is
This
literally what everyone's looking for.
Yep. Yep. So we're like that's the meta, dude, is like we'll figure it out and people will start to grab the licenses and like yeah, dude, we're happy about the product and like part of the revenue goes to the DAO of another project that we started previously, dude. And like it's just cool, man. Like we always like to share revenue with the community and like make it possible. And like we're just stoked because I mean basically like all the revenue from this is just going to go into developmental debt to build other bigger shit that we want to build. You know?
Yeah. That's I think that's the whole thing. It's like even when we were thinking about building our contract and stuff, we had so much futures, like so much other stuff in mind. It wasn't. This isn't the end. Like it wasn't the end.
That's what's so great is like these contracts can sign and approve spend. So it's
Hmm.
like instead of having to have a upgradable proxy contract, your contract can just interact with the library of another contract to upgrade it, bro.
Yeah. I don't really understand how that works, but it sounds like it's what I need.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to like, and that's dude, like that's why I said like for some people they may want to do centralized metadata. Like I have a friend who's planning on doing like a game where you grow plants, where all the metadata is centralized, but based on like staking your tokens, and then but like staking your tokens and then like burning a certain amount of other tokens in the contract, like it will send like the state of the chain will change, and then there'll be an event listener running scripts on a server, and that event listener will see different events, and then will update the metadata in the NFT based on different events.
I think I think I'm out of excitement. I think
Yeah, you're like
I've
yeah. Now you're just
I've
like you're just
spent all my excitement.
like,
I'm so excited about it that I can't. Like it's like when you've laughed all day and you
yeah, yeah, no,
can't
I know.
laugh
Dude,
anymore.
it's like when you, dude, it's like when you eat mushrooms, you like laugh so hard for
Yeah,
4 hours that then
and then
you're
someone
like,
says something funny, you just smile.
yeah, you just sit there, you're like, uh-huh. You're like,
Oh
yes,
man, it's
everything
like,
is all one. Everything is all one. Everything
yep,
is perfect and serendipitous.
we're all together. This is the universe. This is what it means.
Bro, and we just tried to put it out. Oh, let me see. Dopamine is online. Let me see if he'll hop in and say hi to you guys really quick.
Oh, that's the grand dev.
Yep.
Chris, I just sent you a message of the of these little characters.
I saw them. They're insane, and the quality is really good too. Really good quality. You're definitely not gonna have a problem selling out yours at all.
Neither of you will, dude.
Nah,
You
it's
guys
that's like
both.
100%
You guys
project.
both.
Yeah.
Dude, and this is the difference is like, bro, there's so much stuff out there that like I can just look at it and I can just tell it's total fucking Fiverr art, bro.
Yep. Yep.
Oh
It's
yeah,
total Fiverr art, bro. Or it's like just like a knockoff of Bored Apes or a knockoff of something. Hey, ET, is that you?
Hey, what's up?
How you doing, Derp?
Bro, I ran around Twitter Spaces this morning and was just like talking about the project in some different NFT chats and stuff. And like a couple people came to ask some questions and like just see if what they wanted to do was possible with the platform. And yeah, I just thought maybe you want to introduce yourself and let them know because I'm sure they'll be out there shilling the project for us too.
Oh,
Unless they're
cool.
gonna,
Are they in here right now?
Yeah,
yeah,
there.
they're in,
Yep.
yeah,
I'm one of the
yeah.
guys.
Awesome.
unless they're gonna literally FUD it, dude, because like they're basically like, this is
We
the
don't
type
want.
of
Yeah, we
project
want the
we
token.
want
I'm gonna
because
go
we
there.
don't want anyone
Don't be
else to
doing
know
it.
about
Yeah.
it.
Yep. Don't join it. It's total. It's a total rug. I talked to the devs.
Yeah, just get out of here now. I'm gonna rug you guys.
Yep.
Just
But hey, Derp, you want to introduce yourself? Just like give them a little bit of your background and like tell them kind of like.
yeah, for sure. So so I've been the primary developer on the omakavc project for a little while now, and we're like so close to releasing something that's actually usable. So I'm incredibly excited about that, and I've been doing crypto dev stuff for a little while now, like the past, I don't know, 3-4 years. I just finished working for MetaMask. I was working for them for like 2 years, and then I was like, this is not so exciting anymore, So I kind of left that gig and then moved on to more interesting things. And like I'm just doing my thing, doing dev stuff most of the time. And
You decided to disrupt the whole market
yeah, exactly.
because there's a lot of devs running around charging.
Unequivocally.
They're charging a ton, and they are literally copy pasting
Yeah,
contracts.
dude. There's dudes on Fiverr who are charging like 10K just for the art. Like, never mind the contracts, just for the art by itself, just for like the art gen.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, yeah. I mean, basically the goal is this product that we're building caters to a lot of different people. You know, one of the primary targets is just someone who wants to do a project like this but doesn't want to have to deal with Indian devs on Fiverr, or people that are potentially unreliable that don't actually care about your project. And this kind of just makes all of that happen instantaneously. Click of a button. And the
Yeah,
whole
it's
thing just
insane.
I mean, people literally don't even believe it, and that's why, like, of course, we haven't started our mint or accepted any funds from anyone until the MVP is ready, right? And
yeah,
like when the MVP comes out, that's when the mint starts, and it's like
yeah.
as soon as you get your license, you'll be able to go and be like, oh, hey, Derp, is it possible for you to just give? I don't know if it's working right now or if you guys have been breaking stuff, but is it possible for you to just show like just the one segment where it like does a preview, the front end
Oh
part?
yeah,
Where
yeah. I think I can show that.
all
Just
right, cool.
let me prepare it.
Screen share, sir.
Oh man, let's go. Let's go. I'm
Yeah,
excited.
yeah. I'll give you
This
guys a
is
quick
real alpha
preview here.
right here.
Let's see if it.
By the way, what's up, Pat?
Gets
Like is Pat username? He's got the star. Username, is that you? And if it is, did you really boof Jeffy's keys? Lamau. Bruh, this is like so it like I'm just stoked that you guys are gonna get to see like a little bit of what the actual product looks like, bro, before it goes live, because it's just like we're just stoked, dude. I'm stoked to give more power to people who are creatives and not have them need to focus on so much just like like
Yeah,
grind stuff,
that's
dev
literally what it
stuff.
is. That's how it feels.
It lets
Like,
people focus on the community and the art and like the
hmm
stuff that like deserves the attention.
The fact too that you're the NFT away as as a license,
Almost ready
this is like
here.
the evolution of NFTs. It's like I can like you guys really are like on the cutting edge of what NFTs are going to become.
One of
'Cause
the
eventually,
reasons why I love this project so much is because nobody thinks it's real.
I know, dude. They don't think it's possible, dude. They're like, oh, it's LARP. They're just gonna try and do a sale, and then there's not gonna be any MVP. Dude, all the dudes in MVHQ, when I went and told them about it, they're all like, oh, well, can we see a demo? Like, we'll see. It sounds too good to be true. We're just like,
I don't. What I don't get though is that after you're working in this space, right? You've written it like I've wrote some of the contract myself, copied some from Hash Lips. I saw what is possible. This why wouldn't this make sense that this was where we were going anyway?
yeah.
Dude,
Like this is where it's
You cut
going
off. What did
anyway.
you say?
programs, bro. Programs that build programs.
What you didn't hear me, Dirk?
He might have been talking. Are you on push to talk, Derp? Or what's up? He may have gotten a call.
Okay, he is the grand dev.
Bro, we found some like we had some friends who were launching a project, or some former friends who were launching a project, and like literally like, dude, they we looked at the contract they were about to deploy, and we were literally just like, dude, this contract is so exploitable, and we could have just like drained like $2 million in liquidity from their LP, and we literally were like fixed all their shit for them and everything, and then
Hmm.
invested in the protocol, and then they fucking rugged us, dude.
Holy shit!
Dude, they rugged us, dude.
God.
And then they lawyered up, bro. And they lawyered up on us, dude. And my lawyer had to call them, dude. And literally, like, I have a full legal team, dude. Literally, my securities lawyer was formerly general counsel for the SEC, dude.
Oh crap!
They're so screwed, dude.
Yep. Good luck with that one, buddies.
Rest in
You're gonna
peace,
lose just
bro.
by association.
Bro, can you imagine being in this industry and like shooting your shot and just like completely fucking it, and not even like not even like
Fuck, man.
trying to make it good for your investors, knowing that like this industry is going to be here for like the
Yeah,
rest
that's
of
what
our
I don't
lives.
get. I don't get
The
that, man.
rest
It's
of
like
our lives, bro.
you're gonna go buy a car and
Thanks.
they're gonna hand you an NFT as the
Thanks.
title.
In the plan. Be good.
Thank you, sir.
Enjoy.
Are you connecting the local host? Connect local host. Is Ditto still there, dude? What's this guy doing? He's getting it all together, guys.
Guys, I think my connection is really bad. You guys are cutting out.
Yeah, maybe. We're just waiting for you to screen share.
Okay,
Your
I'm gonna
internet
screen
is
share.
your internet's busted at your house, dude.
Oh, it's
I think
fucked. It's completely fucked.
it's
Video on
total,
Wi-Fi?
dude. No, yeah, his Wi-Fi is like, dude. We live on like a tropical island, bro. He
Okay,
like,
check this out.
Okay, yeah.
dude. Oh, by the way, also, we're not like a remote team. We actually like have offices
Hmm.
and like
Gotta
all
give
work
some
together.
permissions here.
As
We
soon as you
actually
said
have
volley, I was like, oh man, those are the guys.
he has to restart Discord to do the screen share permissions, bro. We literally I actually have offices, bro. Like actually have offices. Yay! Dopamine.
All right. Okay, can you guys hear me?
Oh
Yep.
yes,
Yes.
we're very excited.
All right, I'm sharing the screen right now.
Watch this. Let's see.
Okay, you guys see?
It's loading. It's
Yep.
loading
All right,
up.
we're in.
First,
I'm
We
in.
see
Sorry,
it.
first.
Okay. All right. Cool. So okay, so this is what the main NFT collection creation page looks like, and it's just a bunch of form fields. So like you would enter in the name of your collection. So like derp, give it a symbol and a description, and then this is where you would go ahead and upload your artwork.
So
So I
that
can go ahead and yeah.
the descriptions, is that what shows up across? Will it show up across OpenSea?
So that description is what's going to show up inside of your metadata.
Metadata. Okay.
So, yeah, so like what you see on OpenSea, you have to edit yourself on OpenSea.
Okay.
And so like once this window is open, you can immediately start dragging and dropping like either individual files or full folders. So here I have this sample collection. It's for a different project that we're working on. I'm gonna demo it with this. Uh, so essentially, what you want to do is upload the attributes in the order that they'll actually be appearing in the collection. So like you'd want to have a background first before anything else, or else you're
Okay.
gonna have layering issues. So
Is
like
there a special naming convention you guys are using?
naming convention for what?
Like so in certain like hash lips you have to put hashtag 10 after every
Yeah. So,
name.
so yeah, so pretty much how we do it is you can enter in the rarity and it's going to modify the file name to fit that requirement. So like you don't actually have to do that on the
Okay.
user. So it's kind of helpful.
Yep,
So
yep.
so add in the background here, and yeah, so the naming convention is like you said, like it needs to have a hashtag in the name. But when you edit the rarity weight, it changes it automatically. So it's
Oh
like one
shit.
step that you don't have to do, you know.
So if one of those backgrounds was a GIF, would that work?
Currently not.
Okay. Is that planned sometime?
Potentially, yeah. I'm curious about the limitations of GIFs on IPFS,
Yeah, he
and
was
I'm
saying that
wondering.
we would have to use our own metadata.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I think it would
if
only
we
work with centralized
okay, so
metadata.
here's another question. So if we did the black background number 22 PNG, right?
Yeah,
And we had a black background 22 GIF, can we swap that from a centralized server from another server as an
like if you were to
image?
create a collection and then
Yeah,
swap it
and then swap
afterward.
it. Yeah, and then swap it out later.
So in order to do that, you would have to kind of create a new collection, right? Because this collection would have already been created. So you would have to go back to this tool and run it through the algorithm again using the GIF instead of the PNG.
And the
So
rarity, the weight is the percentage of NFTs will be created with that, or is that like the actual like number of? Say we have like a collection of 5,000. Would it be? Are you
Yeah.
using?
Okay. Essentially, how the weight works, it was tricky for us to put a percentage in here because then we have to make sure that they all added up to 100%. So how it works is like example, I put a weight of 5 here, just to give you an example, 5 here, 10 here, and like 5 here. So what the weight means is that you basically take the sum of all the weights, so 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 10, so that's 25. And then what you say is, okay, this one has a weight of 5 and the denominator is 25. So this has a effectively a 5 in 25 chance of actually appearing. Or if you
Okay.
reduce that, it'll be a 1 in 5 chance or 20% chance. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's essentially how you do it. And then you can go ahead and like you can delete the individual traits using the trash can. You can just go ahead and delete the entire attribute. It'll disappear. Uh,
It's amazing that you can upload the folder and then name them individually. I thought I was going to have to be naming and uploading every layer because I think I've got over 1,000 layers now at this point for my project. So this is
over a
great.
thousand.
you mean
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
a thousand
Yeah.
attributes
I'm
So the
sorry.
actual
or traits?
name will be somewhat important though when it comes to the JSON metadata that you see on IPFS. because it takes the name directly from the file, right?
So that
So
would show up as the trait as like black_BG. So we just need to make sure that whatever our
yeah, exactly.
file is the name of the trait that we want displayed.
Yes, in the metadata.
Okay, cool.
That's correct. And so yeah, so we can just get rid of that. This thing is still, getting fine tuned right now. Like you can't, like, you're supposed to be able to drag pretty much, if I wanted to select all of these and just drag and drop it, but that currently doesn't work. We're fixing that. So if I go ahead and continue adding attributes and traits, I'll just add all of them. So then you get, wait, that was a mistake. So then you get a full on overview.
You know what's funny? You know how I know that you're a dev? Because you're moving faster than the interface. But most time when people demo stuff, they're like so slow, and I'm like, would you speed up, dude? But you're moving faster than the interface. That's dope.
Yeah. Yeah, that happens. So we're gonna get like all these juicy traits in here.
Juicy jelly gang.
So there's like 9 different attributes with multiple traits. And then we're going to make it so that you can rearrange them so that you don't necessarily have to upload the background first, but then you can rearrange it so that the first one is essentially the first layer that you see.
Okay.
And so here you actually have the ability to generate a preview. So if I go ahead and click generate preview, it takes a second. So there's stuff going on in the back end.
Okay.
Stuff's being created. And then you just give it a second.
Can I add a suggestion too?
No way, dude.
Yeah, dude. So it spits out a 2x5 preview right on the screen. And you can literally you can reshuffle it as many times as you want, right? So like I can click the button again and
Yeah,
it'll
you get
go and
something
do it
that you
again.
like most. Yeah.
So we can just make sure that everything is loading properly with the order before, obviously before.
Yeah,
It's
you make
just
sure all the layers are lining up correctly, that everything is pixel mapped correctly.
Yeah, and there's another sample.
okay. I have a question for you. So when you say make sure everything is lined up correctly, so if all the PNGs are on a basically 1 by 1 format square and everything lines up together, we'll just upload. We can just upload the PNG, and if it's done correctly in whatever software we're using to create the elements, then it should be fine, right?
Yep.
It should be fine. So like there's some upload requirements that we have here. Like you're gonna want to do like 1024 by 1024 px. Like all of your images should be squares. And it's recommended that like the elements inside the image don't hit the borders of the image, or else it might look funny. So like definitely leave some padding, like leave some space in between the edge of the image and your actual layer element. And then the PNG should also be transparent.
Of course,
So
yeah. And
those are
then
the only requirements.
the mine's is that like the max? So can I not, because my all of my stuff is 2500 by 2500. Is that going to be a problem?
2500 by 2500. If you resize it to 1024, will that compromise the quality?
I really don't think so. I'm sure that once I export it, it'll be fine. I'm just wondering because I don't want to like export, 1,000+ layers at like the wrong size, then have to like and
Yeah,
rename everything.
yeah. I mean, basically, the reason why we chose this size is because it's big enough. Like, it doesn't need to be any bigger than that without compromising quality. Because, like, when you go to OpenSea, the images aren't going to be that big. Like, they're not going to be 2500 by 2500. That's massive, right? Like,
I
that's
guess
that's
I was prepping for printing for like prints and things because I was gonna I'm offering like prints of the actual NFT that I'm selling, right, like on big
right. Yeah. So,
so
so actually,
But
now
those
now
aren't
that I
getting.
think about it, when you size down, you don't compromise quality. It's only when you size up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sizing down should be fine. It should actually look better sized down.
So yeah,
Yeah.
if you just size it down, make sure it's a square, a perfect square. So like
Okay.
1024 by 1024, and then it'll work perfectly.
And the edges, you said so your backgrounds, it's okay if the backgrounds are edge to edge, right?
Yeah. So as you can see, like the backgrounds in this demo are edge to edge, right? But like example, these ears or like the feet, they don't hit the edges. Like there's still some space in between.
You guys are like blowing my mind because I did I thought I was real smart. I uploaded 5,000 pieces by recording my mouse, okay? By recording my mouse motion. It took me like 3 days to do it, and then none of them had traits. So I have this giant collection on OpenSea of these things called crypto pits, and I just
Yeah.
never listed them because like no one's gonna buy it without the traits. So I just but it was a good test run. But this is like blowing my mind. So I'm very impressed. It's like
I have a
unicorn
question.
magic.
So I have a
Yeah,
question.
dude. Yeah.
So
So-
art when we built our art, we actually over it actually went over the edge on purpose. Is that going to be a problem?
Oh
Even if
wait,
we
over the what? Sorry.
so like our characters go over the edge of our meant on purpose or of
like like
the
like
the
their
platform.
their avatars et, so they like the bottom of the avatar is just like the bored apes, like the bored apes end at the bottom of the.
Okay. Well, that's fine then. If that's on purpose, then yeah, that's fine.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Of course, it'll cut off at the we'll resize it for 1024, and it'll
Yeah.
cut off where it's supposed to cut off. But
Yeah. I mean, that's totally fine for sure. And then this is so this image right here, like you can go ahead and download it if you'd like. You just like download it and then share it with your friends or whatever. And then
Super sick.
yeah. And then here you want to enter in like your cost.
27,000 ETH per.
Yeah, so this cost would be in ETH, whatever, like 0.001, just as an example. And then the max supply. So let's say we want to do like 100. And then you can
Trillion.
also put in some extra metadata, which is going to be displayed inside of each metadata item in the collection. So you
That's
can
like
say
text,
like,
that's like text metadata, like traits,
yeah. Or
and
you could put like authorship, like author dopamine.
Like by like
Like,
HyperX or by Chris or whatever you want it to do.
yeah, exactly. Like add in some sort of signature, like up to you.
So if you, how many lines can you add of this
As
safely?
many as you want. I
Really?
mean, you
I
probably
think it's
shouldn't.
metadata. You shouldn't add that
I,
much. Though.
I think we're gonna cap it off at 5, just because, like, like what more are you gonna need to put in there, right? But in theory, you could have unlimited, right? Because JSON, there isn't really a limit to how big JSON files can be.
also right now the front end, the v1 of the front end limits you to ETH, but the contracts are not limited to ETH. So like when we feature creep, you'll be able to like the NFT cost, you'll be able to like select the token that you want to mint in as well. But right now, V1 is just like we're keeping everything simple so people can like do the basic stuff, learn to use the UI, make it work, and we'll feature creep the UI as we go along. But the
And
functionality is there.
what is key and what is value? Like what would I be putting in there? Is that like
Yeah. So example, like the key would be the description, and the value would be like, what is it? So the key is author. The value is dopamine. The key could be like, what else? Like I don't know, location. If
Yeah,
you
and then
wanted
oh
values
to
Philadelphia. Yeah,
I got
or
you.
whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
location, New York City, something like
Okay.
that.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we can go ahead and review the collection. Looks like there's a bit of a bug there. The cost didn't record properly. It, like, got all borked.
Oh, it's going to give you 2 ETH almost every time.
It changed.
Yeah, this is just like a visual bug, I think. But it brings you to a page where you can essentially review all of your details. And if you notice that something's messed up, then you can just go back and edit it. And then, straight up at this point, it's like what you can do. I'm going to change my network to Polygon because I've been testing on Polygon because it's cheaper. You can go ahead and launch your collection, and it's going to prompt you to pay right away. So how it works, and this is going to change in the future, but how it works right now is that you send Ethereum to our backend wallet that goes ahead and deploys the collection for you, and then it passes you the ownership of the contract. And so that's how it
Okay.
works right now. Eventually, we want to have it so that you deploy the contract directly from MetaMask, so that like you pay the gas yourself, and then there's no extra step. But this was the easiest way that we thought we could do it at first.
Yep. Just get it done
So,
method. Get it
yeah, and so
working
it gives
method.
you
Yep.
Yeah, get the MVP
it's,
done and then refine.
And then
yeah,
refine. Yep.
exactly. So it
I think
gives
we
you
did
like
the same
the
thing.
gas price so that your shit goes through fast. Like pre-configured fast gas price, and then yeah, so I go ahead and confirm, and then what's gonna happen is like it essentially waits until the transaction goes through, and then it waits until 2 block confirmations. So even when we see it success in MetaMask, so it confirmed in MetaMask, great, but nothing's happened yet because it's waiting for another confirmation. So I'll just leave it on the screen for a sec because then you'll see.
This is the back end you're looking at.
Sorry.
This is the back end you're looking at.
Yeah. So this is the server that's currently running on my machine. It has a lot of logs, so it's just
Did
kind
you
of fun
just
to watch.
wait? Did you just deploy this to Polygon mainnet?
No, I didn't. I didn't deploy anything to Polygon mainnet.
Okay, why'd you pay gas in Polygon?
Just because all I did was send 1.5 Matic to an address.
Got it.
Yeah. So I think, yeah, I don't know. It might not be fully operational right now. Like it's giving me shit about like not having a proper SSL certificate. That happens every now and then. It's annoying. But essentially what happens, like you click launch collection, you pay, and then it literally does everything. Like it goes ahead and uploads everything to IPFS. It creates the metadata, uploads the metadata to IPFS. It pins the images using the Pinata pinning service so that they're actually accessible to everyone. Does the same thing with the metadata. And then directly after that, it goes ahead and deploys the contracts. And then it verifies the contracts, and then it passes ownership. And then it also puts the provenance hash inside the contract so that it's like a certificate of authenticity for the ordering of your images. And then yeah.
And then how do we point it to whatever platform, whether it's going to be like OpenSea, Rarible, or whatever platform you're going to actually like, whatever marketplace? Um, is there a point where you like determine? I mean, I don't even know what I'm saying right now. I'm trying to
Wait,
figure out how.
are you putting in the OpenSea API
Yeah,
call?
so for now, like not in the MVP, but what we're planning on doing is like automatically pasting the collection on OpenSea so that you can just it's already there. Like contract address uploaded to OpenSea, and then you'll be able to view your collection essentially right away. And
Jared,
so like
can you show an
yeah.
example of how to input like the DAO information for governance voting?
So that doesn't exist yet in the UI.
Okay.
That's just kind of an additional feature that already exists inside of the contracts, but we don't have a UI for it yet.
Can you show them the management UIs though, bro? The ones that pop up after this once you're deployed, even if they're not working, just show them the.
Yeah. That's what I was going to show next. So like, if we go to, let's just go to the homepage.
And bro, I already showed you like on our contract. I showed you the Etherscan where you can call all the functions, right? So it's
Yep.
like Etherscan is a UI for the contract, right? Like you just have to enter the data in the contracts manually. You don't just like click a button and
Yeah.
have.
And then what's on the roadmap? What's on the roadmap is for collection creators to have a space where people can go and mint directly on our site, so that they don't have to use Etherscan. That's coming.
And when you say upload to open, like it's not going to upload just everything to OpenSea. Like it'll give people an opportunity to like press mint, and then it will be revealed to them, or or will
You'll
everything?
see in a second. He's gonna show you. He's gonna show you the next frames, dude, and walk you. So what you
Okay,
have to
so
do is you have to go to OpenSea and basically input your contract address to OpenSea, which initially with the MVP will just include instructions on how to do that, and then just
Okay.
like as the this is all front end stuff, right? So like as the front end devs feature creep, the pages will just start to the extra buttons will pop up like add to OpenSea, or it'll just happen automatically. So I
Oh,
think
cool.
it's better that we have a button ET because uh, some people maybe they don't even want their stuff displayed on OpenSea, right?
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, I think one of the other things too is that some people want to do a reveal, so we would have an image
It's
that
set
would
up like that.
cover. Oh
It's
well,
set
Yeah,
up.
let me
that
shut
would
up.
work.
I'm waiting. I'm gonna sit here and
Yeah,
wait.
dude, but that's exactly what we want to do is like give the collection creators the ability to reveal when they choose, when they want to reveal. So
That
like
was my next.
inside, gonna give me shit for being on the wrong network here, but so here, this is like your kind of your profile area where you can see like if you have a receipt balance, and then if I go to the collections tab, this is where you would see your minted collections. And then within one of those collections, you can do things like pre-minting. You can do things like setting the base URL to the IPFS storage area, and that would be equivalent to revealing. So like once you set the base URL, then your collection will be viewable on OpenSea, right? Because OpenSea looks at your base URL and then it uses that to actually populate the images. So you decide when you want to reveal. And you don't even need to keep track of this URL because we keep track of it for you. You just click a button and then bam, done. Click a button, reveal. And
So
you can pre-mint as many as you want. I can't really show you the section yet because it's still I don't have any way to access it right now. But like the other thing that you can do is you can stop and start the minting. So like when you deploy the contract, it's by default false. So nobody can mint yet. And so if you wanted to, as the owner, you could pre-mint, say like, 10, 20, 30 at no cost. And then after you're done pre-minting, then you can start the sale. And at that point, when you start the sale, people can start sending ETH directly to the contract, or calling the mint function and actually minting some of your collection items in exchange for ETH. And then you can pause it if you see that something goes wrong, or you want to pause the sale. You can go ahead and pause it. You can flip the sale state as many times as you want, and then that's it. Like this is basically your collection management console here as a pop up, and everything is managed via just the MetaMask wallet connection.
So
that's
that's all.
awesome.
That's just all built in.
Yeah, everything, it's all built in, and it's like super user friendly. Like
Hey,
step by
ET,
step.
can you just show them the Adobe XD real quick, bro? Like,
Let me
that.
find it first.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So funny. Derp's like, I'm not screen sharing, so you see all my weird porn file
Yeah,
names, all
yeah.
my dungeon porn names.
You're gonna see tentacles and shit.
Dirty motherfucker.
Derp's
Doing your
like,
fucking
I can't let
your
them see the
chode.
Shibari videos with the pancake swap dev.
Derp in his fucking personal chode pics. Sending his chode pics.
The thing that we're most proud about our dev is that he doms the PCS dev, and that's
Oh,
like that's
true
what we're
story.
that's his real claim to fame. Like all the base deviness is like great, but the fact that he like doms the cute pancake swap dev girl is like
Oh damn.
that's where he just says he's an alpha. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's when you know that's alpha alert, you know?
That's a good promotional point for deviness.
She's a UI designer and a developer.
So it just worked.
It works.
That fits.
I think she likes it in the back end more, if you ask me.
Oh shit!
Jeez.
Yep.
Oh my
That's where the deep coding goes, you know?
Back
Debbie's base.
I'm more of a front end kind of guy though, so I don't know how she feels about it. No,
Stop,
just a
dude.
second.
Yeah, put in that data, you know?
He's, dude. You're a soul dev, dude. Just be honest about it.
Solana dev?
You're dot soul dev, dude.
Oh, dot sol dev. Okay.
Yeah, dot soul dev, dude. Dude. So yeah, I mean, basically, you
Oh,
guys,
I'm gonna show them the Miro because I have access to that.
you got
I don't know. I
like
don't know
I'm
what
I'm
this
pretty
is.
sure, like, dude, I really believe in taking action, so I'm pretty sure I'm gonna try and like make sure you guys get into the whitelist because like I just like people who take action first, and you're both actually like ready. You know what I mean? Which is like exactly what I want. Like I don't want people applying for the whitelist who are like at the point where they're like, yeah, I have this idea and some of the art
Yeah.
is done. You know what I mean? It's like you guys are basically like as soon as you know that you can turn your mint on and have verified contracts deployed that people can look at and read and you know are safe, you're basically ready to be like our contract is deployed. There's a countdown for the minter. Everyone hype this shit to all your friends. You
Yep.
know, whitelist, invite people to join. The person who invites the most people gets the whitelist. Like, boom, and then you're running, right? So that's why like that's why like the whitelist for this project isn't the same as like we're not trying to build hype. We have to interview people and be like, okay, are you really ready to be someone who launches one of the first products
And you want projects that
on
can
our platform?
help the platform.
Right, because it's like and like we're looking to cover some of the dev debt, so it's not free, but it's reasonable, and you guys get a lifetime license. And I think that like we're really just trying to interview people and make sure that they have all their ducks in order, because I would like to see like 10 successful projects get launched, like deployed during the timer for the mint to go off. You
Yeah.
know?
Exactly. Yes.
Right?
Yep.
And then it's like
Dude, this
you
is
guys mint, you have a successful mint, and it's like somewhere you throw us a little nod, like deployed with omakavc, like special thanks to omakavc. And then people are like, wait, what is this? Like, holy shit, like what the fuck, dude? And then there's just like peak fucking FOMO. And
Yep.
like we'll promote your like honestly, Derp, it might make sense to even promote their projects while our mint timer is live. So like on our page, we're like our whitelisters are minting their first projects. Go check them out. Blah
Oh
blah.
man.
Timer to license mint, license
Oh
mint
my
going
God.
Fucking go, dude. Yes.
yeah, fuck yeah.
right? Like that strategically, that's the play, because then it's like if like even like it'll set the odds. You know what I mean? Like can three how many of the people who got a license recouped their initial mint cost, and then like are those people willing to say like to people who have licenses or interested in one like what their extraneous costs were on marketing and art, and then like there's a simple like proven value proposition and everybody wins, you know, like
Yeah, that sounds pretty amazing.
Hell
I
yeah.
think it's cool.
Love it.
So
Yep.
dude, you guys,
Yep.
I'm actually really shocked that like you busted out like actual collections, you know. Like I'm used to
That's
a
cool
lot
as fuck that you guys are actually ready, you know?
bro, I'm used to a lot of buster shit in the fucking blockchain industry, dude. Like you
Yeah.
would not believe the number. Like, dude, this is us spending a decent amount of time because, like, I looked at your art, I'm like, oh shit, these guys have their shit together. Because the reality is, bro, like, we have people call us every single day, and they're like, I'm raising some money, and I
Yep.
kind of have some of the art done, and we're just like, what the hell,
And I
dude?
kind of know what I'm doing, even though I don't really know what I'm doing. Right? I
Yeah.
want you to do it for us.
I want some opinions on the plan. And it's just like you guys have a clear destination. The product we have will get you guys there, which means like I'm actually, dude, did you see their art, Derp?
Not yet, no.
You
Oh,
guys,
he's
is it
sending
okay
us.
if I share, or can you guys share some of your stuff with Derp so he can see it, dude?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Like,
send
you
it
want to
over.
enter the Jellyverse, bro?
bro,
Bring me to the Jellyverse.
I would say
dude.
you right to the Jellyverse, man. Get
And
ready.
bro, it's so cool. He's had his community basically like suggesting the traits that they like and helping to design the traits, right? And then community members have been able to like name the traits and shit like that.
That's cool.
Pretty nice, right?
Yeah, that's super cool.
Yeah,
Love to
that's
Bro,
a
see.
good idea. I think
Dow
so. We weren't gonna we were waiting for the first mint to have our DAO put together because we wanted them to vote on which character came next. So we had the first character and then there's the next, it's 5 characters total.
Yeah.
But we didn't even think about like having them vote on the traits for the first one. We were literally just trying to get the first art done, get the project ready, and then we were gonna go from
Well,
there.
I'm
But
telling you, it was a ploy to buy myself more time because I've been looking for something like this for the past month, and I just couldn't
yeah,
find anything. You know.
Yeah, we know because it didn't exist before
Yeah.
this,
yep,
bro. Like,
Some guy said it was going to cost me $250. But there's no way that it just. I feel like it was a scam waiting to happen. I'm like,
what do you
So what
mean,
did you
dude?
say? What
He
did
said
so
some
there
guy
was this
told him it
guy
was
said,
gonna
yeah,
cost
he's like, I
250.
can get a guy. I can get a guy to develop a smart contract for you for $250. I'm like, bro, there's no. Yeah,
No, rug pull.
yeah, exactly. You're about to put
Bro,
some code.
bro, the G one is when they're like one B and B or two B and B. You know what I
Yep,
mean? Like, bro, listen, I have real money. So like when there are people who say they can do that, I for sure throw a task at them and throw them the money. Because it's
Yeah,
worth the gamble. If I find someone who can pull it off, like I'm
yeah,
telling that dude he's getting way more money and he doesn't work for anyone but me
yep,
yeah,
instantaneously, bro. Like I'm like, wow, you actually pulled that off in a reasonable timeline. You didn't disappear with the money. You weren't not able to get it done actually. Okay, like 100%, like here's the new deal and you
yep.
work for me now and you're stoked and now no one else can get you.
I was literally that's my same mentality. I was like, 'cause some
But they
guys
don't
were saying
exist,
they could do.
bro. They
Yep,
don't exist.
they were saying they could do the art early
After
or real
200
fast.
after 200 B&B, after 200
Mm-hmm.
B&B, let me tell you that person does not exist. Okay?
Nope, nope.
Like I made the investment to discover it doesn't exist, dude.
Yep. You
Like,
tried. I tried. We're not even in the same country.
and we're not even, and then we're not even getting to the level of like actually building a clean, fast, responsive D app that's actually been bug tested, that actually got like put together. No, that didn't work fast enough. Take it back apart, build it better. Okay, this is actually a reasonable MVP to drop, and not just like some duct tape and shoe glue. You
yeah.
know? Like, bro, I'm the one who's always like, okay, like, is there anything I can do to move stuff faster? And Derp's always like, I'm testing it more.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Derp. I sent you some stuff privately. It's for some reason I couldn't find the folder, but I sent you some different ones.
Dude. You send him different ones
Good
from the
game.
fucking.
Good
Yeah.
games. Good game.
You like
Bro.
that? You like the gel? You like the Jello mode with the stapler in it? A little reference to the Office.
Yeah, man. These are
From the-
cool. I like
Did you see
this
what I
one,
sent
the
you?
rainbow one.
So you guys, this is the other cool thing about using the DAO function, right? Is that you could announce like our project is an on-chain DAO and we'll be controlling the contract and take, or you don't even have to announce it, right? But you could literally be like at some point that the mint filled up to a certain amount of money, you could call the convert to DAO function and let the rest of the money that was minted like go into a community treasury.
Oh
You
shit! So we
know?
can start it at any time.
That would be
And
sick.
people could literally vote on chain to like move those funds into a staking contract. Like if it was ETH, you could take the ETH and deposit it right in like the Synapse wrapped ETH pool, and it would be earning 15% a year on ETH. And you could like take the reward tokens and sell them.
Yeah, that's
You know?
insane.
like literally it could be done like days after they were all minted, and that could be like the first community event is you would like organize everyone through going to Etherscan and
Yep.
signing the necessary transactions, and then like boom, now all of the art is gaining 15% a year of ETH, and you guys are compounding it on like a bi-weekly basis or something like that. You
And now
know?
the floor raised.
Huh?
I said,
Actually,
and then the
you'd
floor
probably use a
raises.
vault, right? Yeah. And that, dude, the floor is naturally lifting, right?
Yeah,
Because you have
natural.
stake ETH in the contract.
You know what the fact that I'll be able to say, hey, there will be, staking opportunities with these NFTs is like the biggest thing. It's like, because like a lot of times, a lot of projects will overpromise and not know how to deliver on what they're even saying. They're just hoping they'll just figure it out. And like,
Yeah.
if I can confidently say that, I mean,
Yeah. Bro,
it's amazing.
100%. I mean, it'll be probably like 30 days before we release the staking contract deployer, but like I would be willing to bet that like it'll probably be like 30 days before there's a front end up, right? Don't you think, Derp? Like at least that long, yeah?
Yeah. We still
Yeah,
have,
like
I know,
Yeah, I'll
but
happily cut our.
the main thing,
but you get it. Yeah.
the main thing that we're super excited about is that like this contract, this NFT DAO contract, has the ability to interface with any contract in DeFi. Any contract. Like you can call any function on any contract in DeFi.
Yeah,
And
it's
that
insane.
includes another one of these DAO contracts, I guess is the point.
So
Like
you
that
can
includes
create like a chain of DAOs or like a DAO that controls a sub DAO that has ownership over a sub DAO. Dude, the list goes on. It's insane.
so like I'm just saying like think about how like that could be facilitated with like NFT communities could merge, right? Like you guys could launch a DAO and then issue two governance tokens, two NFT tokens in the DAO. And you for it to like work functionally actually. But like you have three communities.
Yeah, I totally get it. It's like there's so many features. I really need to see them all on paper and then like start
Bro,
matching them up to what I
dude,
can do in a project.
It's literally NFT Nation, dude.
Yeah.
Like this is what happens is like groups that have crossover between each other are gonna like click up into NFT nations, dude.
Yep.
Watch.
It's gonna be insane. You're gonna start seeing insane amounts of financial. Like people are gonna start like really going ham as soon as they
Dude, what
understand
happens
exactly what
when
they can build.
DAO can start running a dope ass treasury? Like they're just some dudes who are really good at trading.
Yep.
And then other DAOs can just be like, oh, we're just going to give this DAO some of our money and they're going to give us some governance tokens. And now it's growing and we can put in a request to get some of our revenue. Like it's money's going to, it's a way of allowing liquidity to flow on chain in a non-adversarial manner.
Yeah.
Liquidity flows in a non-adversarial manner. That's the whole point, right? And it's like, as opposed to shit coins, which are like highly adversarial, big winners, big
Yep. Big winners,
losers.
big losers. Yep.
What is it called? Big winners, big losers, and then like musical chairs.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a game of big winners and big losers in musical chairs. Like that's not really like
You have the bag. Now
that's
I have the
not really
bag, and you have the bag.
yeah
And now
exactly
you're out, and now I'm out.
yeah exactly,
Yeah.
dude. And like eventually, yeah. So I just think that that's like that's that's what it allows, and then like then people who are like because people are sensing something in NFTs, which is that like NFTs have decentralized culture, right? Like
Yep.
ERC20 decentralized culture, and it made culture open. So like now there are already these groups of people. How do they start having like their liquidity and liquidity generated and sourced from their from their events, like start to create additional value. And like we're devs, so we're really smart. So like we think we should get good money for this project because like the next project we're gonna use the money for to build like even cooler shit. We think we did a pretty good job. I don't know, like this is pretty good for the ecosystem personally, but
Yeah, I
So
think it's also
That's
we're
like-
and once
talking
it
about
scales,
like how to ethically or like how to move power and money around more ethically in DeFi basically.
yeah, 100%.
and then once
Like 100%, that's what this creates and enables. And like oddly, it's being born out of like the most vaporware seeming element of like JPEGs being traded. But the thing that I've like realized about NFTs is it's not, you're not buying the art. You're buying into communities.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, so the art is just like the marketing or the ticket on the outside, but what's behind it is really the key.
The art is the aesthetic.
yep,
Is the aesthetic.
The art communicates what type of community
It is.
dude. People who find affinity with similar art always have other affinities that are similar as well, right? And so it's like I think that's what's emerging. And so like how does it get converted into something where it's like, okay, it's not just devs create JPEGs. Like that's why Bored Apes is so successful, right?
yep. It's the community. Their community is insane.
It's the
It's not the
community,
art.
bro.
That's
So-
not the best.
so
Those are not the
imagine-
best monkeys.
It's
So
exactly
imagine
what
this-
happened. So, like when Twitter was started, Twitter was a company that started based on SMS messages. And it's the people that were in Twitter in the early days. And as it created the network, that's where its power grew as the network grew. So when you have something like Bored Apes, it's the actual individuals who own the Bored Apes, that's the community that has created and brought it to where it is today. Say you switch out the Bored Ape community on day 2 completely, just swap it for all new different people, and it wouldn't be the same as what it is today. It would be a different community altogether. The art is what brought people together, but it's
Yep.
really the idea behind each project. And so what happens is if there's an unlimited number of DAOs that could be created and an unlimited number, that's the thing. The number of groups that can come together is unlimited, but when you have a limited structure to like how many are in each group, it gives them a power to work together and figure out what they want to do in the world. We live in a sandbox, and this sandbox is what you make of it.
We're just creating like little tribes.
Even though each one is limited, though the ability to connect micro and macro communities through the DAO, where like you could have a collective that's like a macro representation of a community that has offshoots of each community, and they have different styles of art, but it has some reference to the macro collective. So like each NFT has a vote in their own community, but then also can have governance in a full collective as well too. Like you can add
Right,
other micros. Yeah,
It's not adversarial. This is where it doesn't.
Exactly.
When you put the DAOs together in the ultimate Voltron robot, that's when instead of being adversarial and fighting each other, they band together on things they agree with, not with
and
what
even-
they disagree with.
Even with the micro communities, they can have their own initiatives 100% that are voted within their community, but then also have votes as well for the whole collective. So say, for example, there's like an artist community that is interested in saving the earth or whatever, and then they have individual offshoots. They can have a singular vote all together in the macro community to do larger initiatives together that they agree on. It's totally a fucking amazing power dynamic that is actually fair and democratic, and also how, you know, money is distributed as well too. That's how I've been talking to people about it, is like ethical ways of distributing money and power and representing through culture with the art. And what you were saying, Hollow, before is just like, you know, the representation of the community is the art, but then everything behind it, the metadata, what we put into it is really the intention around it.
I think the dev's about to reveal his porn.
Oh, my GitHub porn. You want to see it? My
His
code
secret
porn.
stash.
Here
Guys,
comes
guys,
the
check
chode pics.
this out. Check this out. We have a visual of the Miro here with some of the state that I wasn't able to show you on the website because I can't access it yet. But like, this is basically what your profile looks like. So it shows you your receipts, and then you know, these are just some states. Like if you want to mint a receipt directly within this window, it'll give you some processing states, and then, you know, like you'll be able to see your collection of receipts in here. And then if you go over here, collection, this is like empty state. If you don't have a receipt, it's going to ask you to create a receipt before you can create a collection, mint a receipt before you can create a collection. And then, bam, like once you have one created, it'll display here, and it'll be like a horizontal scroller. And inside collection details, this is where it gets interesting. You tap on one, it'll show you like a sample image. It shows you the date you created it, the total amount that have been minted. It gives you the contract address, the contract balance, the ability to
Withdrawal.
withdraw.
Okay. That's
Yeah,
good.
so the ability to withdraw the ETH
Yeah.
that's been accumulated, and then the reveal button, so you can reveal when you're ready, and then you can also enable or disable minting, as I was talking about before. And then here you have like standard Etherscan, OpenSea, and IPFS links, so that you can view your metadata.
So the pre-mint, does it cost gas to pre-mint?
Well, yeah, it's going to cost gas because anytime that
You're
you
doing
change the state of the blockchain, it costs gas.
Right.
So
Okay.
pre-minting does cost gas, yeah. So you can essentially, yeah. So when you click enable minting, you can basically decide how many you want to pre-mint, or you can just skip and then enable the minting, and then screen that exposes once you click reveal. It tells you like the risk, you know, of exposing metadata prematurely, and then that's it. It's like, here's an example. Weird fishies.
Man, it's all right from that one
Yeah,
little
everything.
interface. It's insane.
Yeah, it's like full management directly from this interface. Like everything that you would need to do, like minus the DAO stuff, of course, which is going to come later.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can pause.
How far away is the DAO stuff?
I would say it's going to be like at least another month. I mean, we have like the holidays and stuff kicking up pretty soon. We're probably we're gonna spend like all of our time now between now and like the end of the year to just like, you know, seal up the existing V1/MVP of omakavc.
Yeah.
And the reality is that the DAO is functional and can be called
Yeah.
through Etherscan.
Right.
So
Right.
Yeah.
it's totally functional and utilizable by someone who's at the level of using a DAO. You know what I mean? And the best part is that only one person needs to propose the initial transaction. So like, as long as you have 2 or 3 people who are competent enough to input the transaction within the community, and 2 or 3 people who are competent enough to check the transaction and like where it's going, then basically like you're good to go. Like it's pretty simple, and it's like it's not a vote yes or no. It's only vote yes or don't vote, right? It's only do the transaction or don't vote. So
Basically, until that stuff is done, have someone that's competent and DAO to handle it until you guys have those layers into omakavc.
No, but you don't. That's the thing is, as long as you have a couple people that are competent as part of your DAO, you just need to coordinate the other people to sign off on the action, which is
Okay, yes,
something
yes,
even a
yes. I
noob
see.
can do.
Yeah, yeah,
And
no problem. I
not only
understand.
that, but when we build as we're building the DAO utility, like we're not confident that what we want to build is like a DAO utility that's on omakavc, because like it's just like a front end, right? Like it's just gonna call contracts. Like we kind of like the idea of people being able to have their DAO dashboard, if that
Right.
makes sense, because these are
It
all
very
different
much so.
communities. So that takes a little bit longer to build than just like, here's omakavc, connect to your omakavc DAO. That's not going to work for the purpose of this, because like each community needs to be coming to their DAO's dashboard. Does that make sense?
The community already has to have a DAO. Is what you're saying?
No, what I'm saying is that like when I come to the homepage of wherever I'm going to be interacting with with my blockchain community, right? Like I want that to be on brand, and so does the community. So it's like the contracts exist. That's the type of thing that would like go into like, once you get the mint done, you've had a liquidity event, which means that then deploying a front end, paying developers to
Oh
deploy like
yeah,
a
easy.
nice front end a front
Right.
end
I
Hmm.
understand.
interface for
Yeah, I
your
understand.
brand, meaning you're on your brand's website, the front end is on your servers where you control it, so that there's no risk of someone like getting into the front end and manipulating the front end. You understand? Like
Yeah,
it's
Yeah, no,
because
I
there's the
understand fully.
OPSEC. You don't
I
want to.
understand fully.
Yeah, you don't
They're
want someone to be
solving
able
a
to
big
manipulate the
problem.
votes. You don't want to manipulate the people. And so, if you want to do this, this is the thing: is that the vast majority, as in like 99% of the people, have no idea what's possible and what's
Yep.
coming down the road. And
Yeah,
so
totally.
we don't even have a clue. We have ideas, but we have zero real honest clue of what this dashboard should even look like and how a DAO is going to function in 2 years from now or a year from now. There's going to be explosion in UI for this kind of structure to find out how people work together properly, because Telegram and Discord work for what they do, but this let's just say this.
Remember, the
If they
function
knew,
calls are dynamic. You can interact with any smart contract and call any function. That means whatever widgets your DAO wants to build to call certain functions, your DAO should build, if that makes sense.
yeah, I think it's not what's not if you've been in the space a while and you've kind of dreamed of what's possible, I think that if more people understood what was coming down the road, they would be
Here.
figuring out how to nuke the whole thing, because this is going to be as disruptive as the internet.
This is it. Yeah. Yep. Yep.
I think this is the crescendo of Web3, really, that brings it all together, that brings people
Right.
together and organizes them, right?
Or worst case, these token holders are gonna make a lot of money keeping the same shit going on. Because I'll miss some projects with the token, even though mine's is pretty big.
You said what?
I said, worst case, the people who hold the tokens are gonna make a ton of money if they keep this shit going on the way it is now.
Right. Well, dude, this is the thing, is that it's like that's exactly the worst case, but the reality is that this is the fact that you can call dynamic function calls. Like when you imagine what could the front end do on the blockchain, right? Like what
Hmm.
could it interact with and what could it do? It's literally any and every smart contract and wallet address on chain can call any function in any of those contracts. which means that like every time you click on one of these buttons on like a vaulting protocol, all it's doing is calling up a function in your wallet, meaning like what the community chooses to build a front end that's directed at and how it looks and everything like that should be up to the community. Because some
Yeah.
people are going to want a front end that lets them interact with OpenSea. Other people are going to want a front end that lets them interact with SushiSwap and YFI and Curve. Right? Does that make sense?
Yep.
Like harvest
Yeah,
our Curve
absolutely.
vault. What's the balance of our Curve vault? How much is it, how much do we have staked in the X sushi pool? Those are the things those are what they want to see and interact with, right? Some people will want something that's dynamic that they can, build and modify themselves easily. And it's like, we're going to do what we do, but it's not, we don't want there to be the DAO for the omakase. The thing for omakase would be for when the mint is completed and we convert omakase itself into a DAO. If there was a dashboard, it would exist solely for that DAO. And it would probably only have functions to like stake ETH somewhere and harvest the rewards, and like it would have like buttons for people to vote to like stake ETH and harvest the rewards and pay gas, and it would be like really really dev centric and super based and like not like designed to do like a lot of different transactions or be trading or anything like that, Because if I were a DAO, if I were a DAO that was gonna like do some type of trading, right? Like I would want a front end that had like trading view right there front and center, and and like 6 different swaps, like a Uniswap box, a Sushi Swap box, a 1-inch swap box, that were all little widgets all right there in front of me, and like a buy sell event trigger from the blockchain, like, and we're a trading DAO and we have to be like, there's only 6 of us and we're trying to like vote on decisions really fast and like actually swing trade or something, right? It's really
Yeah.
different from like omakase, where it's like the people, like if there's a marketplace and the revenue comes in, people might want to like stake the ETH in some type of ETH compounding vault and withdraw once a month to create like a gas fund for so people could create art without paying gas. Like
Yep. I see.
you get what I'm saying? It'd be
Yep.
different. It's a completely different necessity, but
So it's like, which one do you got? Like, yeah, it's like what? So
yeah,
what do
but
you guys show? Like at that
yeah,
point,
what do you
like it's
show
like,
about
what do
your
you show?
community? Yeah, what
Yeah.
do you show about your community and what are you going to do with it? And like, so like in your case, it's like, oh, there's a percentage that's going to get staked for a charity in Curve DAO. And so it's going to be like total value locked for charity, this amount. Total yield, total paid out to the, you know what I mean? And it's like,
So and then we could reference that and say, hey, you guys should vote on whether or not we should give 10,000 to this place, and then they would start voting. Is that how that would work?
yes,
And then we can move the
exactly.
money.
And that place
Yeah.
gets a wallet address, or
Yeah.
ideally, that place, the best way for that to work would be for that place, instead of getting a wallet address, for that place to mint an NFT on OpenSea, right? That was
Oh
like,
shoot. Yeah.
and then you buy that NFT on OpenSea, and that way the DAO retains a receipt, an
Right.
on-chain receipt of the payment to the nonprofit that's saying, here's proof of
Yeah.
proof a proof
Absolute
of
proof
mission
of
accomplished.
absolute proof.
Here's proof of mission accomplished in MP4 video form in
Yeah.
an ERC 1155 NFT on OpenSea that you purchased from us. Proof of mission accomplished.
Unspoofable. Can't spoof it.
Unspoofable, dude. Like
Yeah, unspoofable.
we're buying food for homeless people. Like I want to see a video. I want to see a live cell phone video of all the food that was purchased and people taking it from the line, and a video of the receipt, and then turn that into an NFT on OpenSea, and the DAO will buy it. And in fact, like, dude, you could even just have something where people just like, we could start something that's like, oh, just do good DAO. And it's like, if
Oh
you,
shit. Yeah, you
or
just
do
made
something
another
like that,
goddamn NFT. Yeah.
we'll pay you, how about this? We'll pay you
Insane.
a 5% premium on going and doing good for people. Like, here are the tasks that we approve of. right? And if you go do any of these things and mint an NFT and prove to us you did it, whatever your costs were, we'll give you a 5% return on investment today.
Yeah, that's
I'm just
insane.
saying
Dude,
how you
it's like endless. It's like how.
That's
What do you want to
actually
do?
way more efficient than. I mean, that's really an efficient system.
Yeah.
Low
Dude,
overhead,
it's super efficient
easy to
because
use.
you tell me, oh, like this is how we're gonna accomplish charity is like we just because like normally charities are super bloated, bro. They operate at probably probably like 20% of the money given to charities actually ends up getting to
Yep.
the
Yep.
Oh,
place
even
where it
less than
needs to
that.
go.
Less than
Not
that
even that.
most
Less
of the
than one
time.
percent sometimes.
Yeah, less
Yeah.
than 1% sometimes, right? Because it's like there's all this bloating and administrative and nepotism and
Bureaucracy, yeah.
corruption and
So how about
bureaucracy.
this? How about so
Yeah.
okay, you want to send money overseas, right? The people overseas do the stuff. They upload the video. You pay through the NFT. Like that's like the ultimate proof that the shit got done.
Yeah,
Otherwise, it's like
well,
what happened over there?
you give them their first one, right? You give them their first one. So it's like, okay, cool. Like you're going to do something good. Here's this. Tell us what you're going to do with it. Now, when you submit proof of life, you're going to get another one. And every time you submit proof of life that good has
Hmm.
been that mission is accomplished, then you get funds remitted. Mission accomplished, funds remitted. So like whatever cause you're trying to help, and that way there's never any doubt to the people in the DAO or anyone who would provide liquidity to the DAO that like, oh dude, we literally just like, no, there are all these proof of life videos stacked up in the DAO's treasury of all of the actual actions being accomplished.
Yep.
Ball in the end zone.
That is
And then
like,
there's
oh my god, that's like so mind blowing.
well, I'm just saying you're because you want to give something to
It has
charity,
a,
right? So
it
it's like
also
that.
has it has a media. Like it's good for
It's content.
Amaka C too. Anna. It's like it's good for everybody.
Yeah, bro. That's it. That's mission accomplished, right? Like that's like transformative and like what? Okay, 10% is going to charity. That's great. Just stake it because if you stake it, you didn't just give 10% to charity. If you stake it in an ETH pool and like you can get like 10% a year on ETH, like what would a charity rather have? $1 million right now. And is that even good? Or when you have $1 million, who manages it while you have it, while you make sure that you distribute it to the charity? It's like,
Right.
I think 100 grand a year, like you guys are going to get this basically in perpetuity. Like as long as there's yield, you're going to get this, and the underlying asset might appreciate in value.
Yep.
So
Especially ETH.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the underlying asset might appreciate in value. It's 4,000 now. It might go to 15,000 or something like that. So if that happens and like you're still getting 10% a year, and now like all you need to do to continue getting the money is just prove that mission is accomplished. You know? I'm just
Yep.
talking about ways that things could be solved where it's
That's
like
just one, and it's just
verifiable.
one thing. That's just one thing. Like, it's not even. It's like endless.
Yeah, it's infinite. The DAO system, it's infinite, man.
That's cool to think about though, right? Like I literally just came up with that idea right now though,
Yep.
like the
You
proof
just
of
solve
life,
world. You solve so many problems just now. You don't
Well,
even
of life
understand.
NFT, dude. Well,
Yeah.
and so like you could take it to another level with like as simple as like an HOA, a homeowners association, or say you have a small like a more of a rural community where they don't really have the infrastructure to have all the things
Yep.
that they need when it comes to maintaining roads. Even like let's be honest, sometimes people's roads are not the priority, and if there's like a just even a pothole that needs to get fixed in a road and that could get identified, and if that's depends on how many people that affects, right? If those people are just fronting the cash, and you're
there's a
like, I would,
pothole bounty.
yep,
There's a
pothole
pothole
bounty, I
bounty.
identified
Hey,
it.
and
Somebody gets
yeah.
paid to identify it, somebody gets paid to fill it,
Yep.
and it's a done deal, and everybody's happy, and it's efficient, right? And
Yep.
no one, yep.
It's like, in that way, it's like now people are looking to fix shit. Now people are looking. Okay, who do I
What
need to take water to? Where do I need to like who
and
needs
Yeah,
instead of
and
and they don't
instead of
need
Yeah,
saying, who
it's
do
people.
I have
creating
to ask?
jobs.
Who do I have
yeah,
to
Jobs.
ask to make something happen that needs to happen in the world? It's like, how do we work together to accomplish
It's
what
like
we know needs to
the
happen.
community already exists. Say it's like a municipality or it's a small micro community and they already exist in an area. It's just like you own an NFT and then you just submit, oh, there's a pothole or oh, there's this. And it's just like, okay, let's
Yep.
all vote on this. Oh, some of the money goes
By the
there.
way,
Now
bro. By
road
the
is
way, bro.
fixed.
What was the cause that you were working on?
Who,
Like, what's
me?
what's the charity? Yeah, what's the charity that it goes
So
to?
we were doing a music school for kids, and I run a charity for financial literacy, and we were gonna like focus on women's shelters. So we had a bunch of different things we were gonna do.
Bro,
And it's all
so
on the ground. It's like all on the
dude,
ground.
that's what's so good about it, right? Is like you can literally like pay people. All they have to do is create content that proves that they went and solved these issues, right? Like
Yep.
that's literally what it is. Like the people who the people who you have help people solve their problems are the people who've just solved just enough of their own already of the same type of problems, right?
Pretty
Like
much.
the people
Yep.
who just got up and got their shit together and are like, okay, like I'm in balance now, and now I need something stable. It's like, okay, cool. Well, here you can go and help. You can go and distribute resources too, right? You can
Yep.
go and distribute information. So it's like, bro, you give them if you give a revenue stream like that, then you're literally just like, dude, it's provable. The scale that it grows to is, it's just you help. It's better to have a trickle that helps someone for a long ass time that's guaranteed than it
Mhm.
is to have like a windfall, you know?
The whole thing too is that like they where were they gonna get the money from anyway? Where was it coming from anyway? No one's donating that money. Like charities just aren't like even though people are donating money to charities, they're not getting the money. Like that's what
Well,
everyone complains about.
and a lot of it too, honestly, a lot of the problems that exist in the world aren't really a money issue. A lot of
No.
it is just a coordination issue. So here's an example, right? You have something like Meals on Wheels that delivers food to senior citizens in an area, right? And for some of those people, that's their kind of their only point of contact. And so when someone, if someone's not checking in on old people all the time, things happen, right? So what if you had a situation where there was some kind of DAO structure based around an actual location community area and
Hmm.
all vulnerable parties are identified and the people who have access to these lists and everything are people who are trusted and verified. Of course, people can be taken advantage of. We're talking about people that are like verified to do good. And you can see this list and see a list of who hasn't been checked in on a certain number of days. And you actually have those touch points and you're like, I can knock out 5 of them this afternoon. I'm going to start hitting them. And you're just solving basic issues to make sure everyone got taken care of, especially if something's going wrong. There's a power
Dude,
outage.
you know what's super cool is you said like a girls' music school, right? Is it's like, dude, you do something like this, and the amount of promotion is like, now you'll have a revenue stream that can secure site control. Once you have site control, literally everything else you need for the music school will literally just show up, dude.
Yep. Yep. That's one of
It'll
the
literally
crazy
just
things.
show up, dude. The
Yep.
equipment. Once you show someone like, dude, we have a place and we can afford to pay the rent and power bill, pay the rent, power bill, and people to maintain it and be here no matter what. You'll have soundboards, microphones, guitars, clarinets, drum kits.
Yep.
All that stuff will show up, dude. Because especially with an NFT mint and something like that right now, dude, you could call up Gibson,
No, that's
Gret,
that's who we're working with. We're
bro,
working with Gibson. It's
dude,
actually Gibson. Yeah,
bro,
Gibson is the
no, that,
school. Our
dude,
artist teaches there.
dude, yeah. So that's what I'm saying is like all like, bro, literally, dude. What do you mean? It's like all the instruments show up, everything shows up, and literally what you need money for are the people who know how to teach kids music to be there because there are no more school music programs. Like that shit's gone, dude. Right? I
Yeah.
mean, like, shit doesn't exist. Like, and like, dude, you want to learn how to play an instrument? You need quality instruments, bro. You can't be like banging on a shitty set of drums. You need like proper imperial hoods and like, Gretsch fucking Gretsch fucking Catalina maple, Gretsch mahogany. Like you need at least, you don't need like the most baller pearl kit, but you need at least like a decent quality instrument, you know, or you're never gonna get good.
Yep. Man,
You
that's
know,
insane.
I mean, then
I'm
you just have
excited.
you have
So
a
we
Well,
street.
yeah, you can
we
get
have
good, but here's the thing: when the kid sees that they have access to the best items for that, for what they're learning, it encourages the kids.
oh yeah.
When people care.
Yeah, man. It's super cool. I mean, it's super cool because this is like think about it. If you did it the way and just gave the money, then you would have been trying to figure out, okay, how do we do this for them again? Right? How do we do it for them again? This way, it's like you do it and it's like boom, there's a revenue stream. When are like for benefit organizations getting granted revenue streams, dude?
Yeah, no.
Not an annuity, bro. Here's an annuity. You
And
know?
then it opens up like so then I could take because I have this token that can mint so fast. We could do like a generative piece for Gibson. The news is there. Hey, there's 300 limited editions for Gibson. They're happy
Adds
a
liquidity to the
piece.
fund.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Adds
they
adds
just don't add their
liquidity.
name
to
to
the
it.
fund.
Yeah, like gone. NFT's gone.
Well, dude, people would once the model's proven, then once the model is proven, people will show back up who believe in that cause to support that cause over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like the treasury can grow and those people don't necessarily have governance. The original community that got it going and kept it running has the governance. But dude, like once you set something like that in motion and you have like a 60% quorum that needs to be achieved amongst like a number of NFTs, when it starts off and people get it going and like that automation is there to just deliver the money, then, then it works. It follows that process. Like it will be very, very difficult to like reverse it or get someone to say like, oh no, we should be giving this to some other music school. But if you guys find out that that music school, their proof of lives, they were, faking their results, faking the action, you're still able to, right? You're able to go, well, we're going to send this liquidity to someone who's actually doing the job.
Yeah, we used to pull liquidity.
Here's something that's going to happen in this scenario though. Before you know it, you're going to have more money than you know what to do with, and you're going to be asking the kids that you're teaching,
What
where
should
could
we
we
do?
use this money?
Yeah, what should we
Yes.
do?
And the kids are going to propose something, and the members are going to vote it right through, and the kids are going to feel that power. Like we just saw something that needed to be done. We're kids with no money, and we saw it and it fixed it. And before you like this is it's so man, I've got chills, man. It's so cool.
So basically, dude, I think that's super cool that that project, like, it's just, dude, it's gonna be good. Your art is super on point. It hits the demographic that wants to support that type of action super well. It's like the art is first class. Like there's 100% a marketplace for that mint. 100% they'll go up in value. Like you just have this like you have an awesome, it's going to be awesome, man. I'm stoked like that it'll happen and just like to watch that occur and see how it's like how it can just like change. It's going to be it's going to be impactful, bro. Like if you think about it, like it's so easy. The liquidity is here for generatives right now. Most of them have no utility, have no mechanism that provably shows how they're fulfilling on what they said their roadmap was, right? Or what they're gonna do. And I think it's sick, man. Like, and yeah, I mean, the art is fucking first class. It's so cool. I think people will be hyped on it. And they're like backgrounds and stuff too, yeah? Different backgrounds?
Yeah. You talking about for mine's? My art?
Yeah,
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 there's gonna be different backgrounds. We're gonna do animation too, but we might hold off on that until we until we figure out what to do with it later. We'll just do it later.
Yeah, I mean, dude, right now it's like the thing is that you could also like if you want to remember how people interact with their NFT is variable, right? Like most people look at it to purchase it on OpenSea, but that doesn't mean the NFT can't trigger a whole set of behaviors on your own front end. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So in other words, like imagine you have like an NFT that's an avatar. When you come to your front end and log in with the wallet, like all types of stuff could be going on a scene that that avatar is set in. It could change daily, you
Yeah,
know?
so there's also another application where if you can program it to where you put it in the app store, so we would have an app on the app store, and if you look at your NFT with your wallet, we could actually put the NFT in that, or the animation in that program. So it would be
Right.
AR, so the
That's
NFT would lift off the
right.
screen, you
Right.
know?
Exactly, dude. Yep.
So
There's
we have options. I can forego the animation to get it on this platform. I would rather do that.
yeah, I mean, and you can always centralize the metadata too, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
If
So we'll figure that. We can figure that
Because you
out
can
too. Yep.
change the base token URI, so you could theoretically centralize the metadata initially, and wait to because remember that like you just can pass, you can change the base token URI until the until you basically like revoke permissions to the contract, if that
Okay.
makes sense.
Okay.
You
You can
know?
always you can change it as many times as you want until you revoke ownership.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like so that means that like you could literally theoretically like you could have I mean, dude, it's to the point where there's a project that has what is it? It's an HTML file in there, right? Derp on the crypto masks.
No, no, no. Are you talking about for the animation that they have?
Yeah, you remember the one that we were running around playing the
Yeah.
game inside of?
Yeah. So basically, like they have fully centralized metadata, and they have a key inside their metadata called animation URL, and it just links to this place on their website that hosts an animation video of their product. And OpenSea is already retrofitted to look for that key inside of metadata called animation URL, and it will display that instead of the image if it is present, if it exists. And
Holy,
so
that's
the one thing that
insane.
The
I'm
animation
aware of, like I think that the metadata needs to be centralized in order for this to work. Like I don't know if this could actually work on IPFS yet.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't think it
So
can actually.
will I use like AWS or something for it?
Well, ideally we just do it for you, because like I'm already having it set up so that all of the assets get uploaded to Amazon S3 buckets, and so
So
like
maybe
yeah,
the fact that we're doing animation might be a good test case.
totally, yeah. Like once we're ready to start adding in that as another feature, then yes, yeah, because like ideally we would have animation go alongside each individual NFT. If that's what you want, like we should have the option. We should enable the option for that.
Yeah.
So
So
like
like
here's the deal: the animation that are in these specific NFTs, bro. These animations are interactive, meaning you can click on the screen or use your mobile app to tap on the
oh my
screen, and there are
god,
two joysticks, and you have a 3D character that can run around a 3D environment. So you could
that's
technically like,
insane.
and because you can change the base URI, like what you could do is if you did like and even if the metadata is there, the original IPFS metadata is there on chain of like the flat image, you could technically change the base URI if you wanted to before revoking ownership, so that then you could effectively like put some type of environment in there where it's like you could put some type of environment in there where basically like you could click on the screen and the background behind it would change, or like they could go from like a city landscape to a country landscape or a jungle landscape or a moonscape, or like it could be interactive within the NFT. So there are benefits and drawbacks to like having decentralized or centralized metadata, but the point is your contract isn't locked until you revoke ownership. So you could like deploy initially, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Dirt, but you could deploy initially on IPFS, correct?
Fix later.
And then you could literally just change the token URI afterwards.
Yeah, you
So
could change the base URI. So the
right,
actual token URI is pre-computed based on the base URI, and the
right. So
token.
you could change the base URI basically, and then it would then direct to a different centralized metadata, and you could like, whatever you could it could like expire at some point and revert to the thing, or you could just maintain ownership of the contract and even like evolve what the art was on the characters if you wanted to, right? So it's just like it's up to you, but if it also could give you the time to like we never know what's coming with like AR weave and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Potentially there is then the ability to put, maybe we're wrong, and there is the ability to host these types of animations on some type of decentralized solution. And it's just no one has done it yet or figured out how to do it. And then we figure out how to do it, and you're like, oh wow, like all these
merch.
animations, these interactive animations could actually live on chain, but it's just no one's done it yet, you know?
If I could chime in, guys.
Yeah.
So I definitely need to connect us with one of my closest friends. You guys can just check out the website real easy. It's beautifyearth.com. It
Oh yeah,
is.
that's such a good project, bro. I'm
Are
I'm
you
very familiar with
you're
it.
familiar
Oh,
with
for sure.
really? Oh,
Beautify
so,
Earth, bro?
Yeah, I just
Of
heard about it the
course.
other day too. Yeah.
oh
Bro, of
wow.
course
So
I'm
no,
familiar with
Beautify
it.
Earth was started by like my brother from another mother.
No way,
Oh
Wait,
wow.
bro.
do you know? I know about the. I know about
Project
the. I
is
know
the
there's.
project in Washington. They had like that one place in Washington where they did like a really big. They like painted the
They've done
circle
they've
on the
done
letter.
thousands of murals. I'm a mural artist myself. I lived in
Sick.
Wynwood, Miami, and I've worked with them. They've moved from nonprofit to a system where they connect walls with artists and projects, and have collaborated with. Like a good example would be Home Depot. You know how it's toxic to dispose of paint, and Home Depot worked with us to give us the disposed like white primer paint for walls. I'm doing a school once the COVID stuff lays low in Ohio, where I'm having the kids be involved in that. We've worked with he's real famous mural artist named Retina. I'm not sure if you're familiar.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, bro.
So he did a project with us where he put together a bunch of the shapes that he does and have the kids fill in the colors. So I'm not as familiar with the DAO space, but I need to get him on board. But yeah, beautifyearth.com. Definitely get this going. Like literally
Check that
type in
out.
like Beautify
Amazing.
Earth, Evan, and New York Times, and
I mean,
we did.
I'm from Los Angeles, so like I know Retna's work, bro. That's my that's my
Wait,
landscape.
so. I mean, I don't know about the whole doxing thing or whatever, but it's when you go to it, you'll see it's Evan Meyer.
Okay.
He's not an NFT. He's not a crypto guy, so there's no real doxing with that. And yeah, so he's a Santa Monica. We joke about him being the next mayor for Santa Monica. He's on
Bro,
like
bro. I'll DM you like literally where I used to live, and I'm willing to guarantee that we have like 1 degree of separation maximum.
oh,
Like,
absolutely.
maximum 1 degree of separation, dude.
Yeah, he just had
IRL.
a baby about 1 week ago, and a pretty busy guy, but he's got a ton of projects, and and this has really, really taken off. So we're talking thousands of murals, and
Oh yeah, bro. I know. I
yeah,
know. It's like and like the craziest thing is like could still do more with more resources. Like there's still more mural artists. Like more resources could still create more beauty. You know?
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. There's,
So
This is
there's
crazy. So, like, if you're an artist, you can just sign up and then shoot you guys the portfolio, and then you'll pay an artist to just go and paint a mural.
yeah, exactly. So it's a way to connect people who want their walls beautified, and there are basically like rent a wall and connect with artists, and you put your portfolio on there, and it's basically like a, like a trading place to connect artists to walls and projects, and yeah, again,
and walls and projects to
beautifyearth.com.
artists. It's a two-sided marketplace, right? Like you can be an artist who's looking for a wall that you want to paint on, or you can be someone who's looking for an artist to paint on your wall.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, I just got finished looking at the website. It's like, man, that's like a
No,
graffiti
it's
artist's
beyond, it's
dream.
beyond legit. Like Beautify Earth, New York Times, like LA Times. This thing took off.
Wow.
Oh yeah, bro. It's a big deal, dude. That's like big fine art. That's like as good as it gets. That's like the heart of the Los Angeles mural scene, which is like defined the new downtown Los Angeles and the West Side, and like that's what makes Venice Beach and
Yeah.
DCLA and Culver City. Like that's what makes it special now. You know what I mean? Is it like
Yeah. Hey,
it
do you know
totally
any chance you know Ruben Rojas with their 1 degree of separation? He's one of the co-founders as well.
the
And
name sounds
again,
really familiar. I feel like he's friends with my brother-in-law, maybe, bro. Like I don't want to I don't want to dox here, but like I'll dox to you for sure because I guarantee like you'll know people. And I lived there for like a long time, bro, and then moved basically like pretty much just retired to Southeast Asia, dude. And I just like trade and like farm, like trade and yield farm, and like I don't even flip NFTs. I just collect them, you know, and
that's
like
awesome. Yeah.
yeah, like I'm more in it. Like I buy stuff that I like the art of, and like ENS names, and then my buddy Derp here and I like he lives here and was working with MetaMask, and like the founder lived here too, and like we're all in the blockchain scene, and like we got introduced and just started building different things, and like this is kind of like what it came to out of like just a strange confluence of like you know confluence of factors, and this is the product that we end up with, you know?
Yeah. Amazing. I love it. I'm glad we connected. I'm glad I jumped on this.
Yeah, bro, for sure. I'm on here, like, I'm literally in here most days and available to hop on VC for this project, like, pretty continuously for probably like the next 3-4 weeks as we get things like really rolling and like help. I've got a bunch of people who are basically like staffed up to help walk people through using the tool and like provide customer support to people and like community support, and like we've got Coma here, so like people who want to create their own communities, like he's just like an expert Discord mod. So like there are people who offer services around the community that can like help someone who's not necessarily in the crypto space, but who's like a really good fine artist or has like something like that. And we have an art grants program, dude, like specifically for strategic partnerships and like, like groups like that are like big name will bring like guaranteed their project is guaranteed success because they have a proven art market, you know, and like they haven't done anything in NFTs or crypto. They don't have the time to deal with a bunch of like development and software developers and all this stuff. And this is exactly what they need, is to just like plug their art into a platform and go live with it tomorrow. You know?
Yeah, well, that's actually what brought me here. I'm in the crypto world from the DeFi and that space, but in terms of NFTs, um, I do lots of digital art, murals, all that jazz, but just didn't want to do all the effort on Discord, and I'm not a generative art type person, and that stuff took over. So that's the type of thing that I'm like
Yeah, I mean, this makes
waiting for
literally
stuff to make.
this makes generative art for someone who's like a skilled digital artist. Like you could launch a collection a week if you wanted to, or like the most detailed collection with the most variability of traits that's ever been launched, and it would be like a fun breeze for you with this tool. Whereas like if you had to work with a developer and go through all of that motion and everything like that, it would just turn into, it would no longer be art for you, you know?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I wish we had this a little earlier. I just came back from Art Basel in Miami, and NFTs have taken
I know
over. And
we were trying to get, we were working to get, we were attempting to get launched by the time Art Basel started, but it was just like, it wouldn't have been, like everything wouldn't have been up to
oh
standard.
yeah, no,
So
you want to do it right. I was just saying, I just came back from there, and definitely built a lot of connections, and I lived in Miami for about 9 years and helped Winwood
nice.
become
Yeah.
that street art area.
We have like a holding company too, and our CIO was actually like down there in Miami. He's from Miami. He was probably at every single party. He's like, dude, like this dude is he's what I call our crypto social butterfly. Like he was like in Puerto Rico with Craig Sellers 3 weeks ago, and then like he's in New York with like wait, are you? No, you're not the dude that I was in a Twitter earlier, and like this dude was talking about our friend Sobi. He's like has a big VC out of New York, and like he's just like floating around all the times with the Casper Labs dudes and all that, and just like total larper. You know what I mean? Like biggest LARP ever. But there's a lot of stuff coming up around this, and like this utility is gonna be fun. And I think that we're actually like, I think that even launching after Art Basel, like people were going and seeing like what's going on with NFTs and where is the space gonna go, what's coming next, and like I kind of think this is it, which is like the on-chain NFT DAO ability for people to create like these community funds that provide continued purpose, like embedded within the art, you know?
Yeah, and I heard some stuff about AR, and I know that a project that Beautify Earth is working on is basically you can hold your phone up to a mural, and the mural will come alive on the phone.
Yeah, for sure. I actually, so like, you know, have you been to the Wisdom by any chance?
No, I have
Oh,
not.
you haven't been down there? Dude, you should go check that out. That's Android Jones's project in DTLA.
Oh no, yeah, I'm in New York. I'm in Brooklyn, actually, Brooklyn
Oh, okay,
based.
okay.
Yep.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, so like they're expanding. I think they were raising like $30 million maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago, to build a bunch of them, like kind of right when Meow Wolf was expanding, and
Hmm.
they did. It's called the Wisdom, and it's like a whole bunch of like paintings with like 3D projection going on top of them, and like AR experience that goes with the paintings, and like Android, yeah, the artist Android Jones.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so it's Android's thing, and then like our friend did all of like um, the 3D and AR assets for the whole
Wow,
project. So
that's for real. Well,
yeah, yeah,
awesome.
he's like,
I'm thrilled to be here. I've been doing a lot of talking. I'll give back the floor there.
no, I mean, dude, it's
Oh, it's
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 just
it's okay. The more information, like we're just learning. Like
bro. That's the thing that
I'm
bugs me about.
absorbing.
That's the thing that bugs me about Clubhouse and Twitter Spaces is people kind of like there's this whole like it's this whole like sort of like senatorial, like Robert's Rules of Order, like, all right,
One
we're gonna
mic.
one mic, let's reset the room. I'm on the pulpit. The mods talk about how they're modding all the time, and it's just like
That shit is so
Everybody,
weird.
then everybody talks about how they feel half the time. Like, what? How will we get down to business? Right
Yeah,
now,
that shit's
I'm
so
so happy and
weird compared to
I'm so
Telegram.
inspired, and I can't. I'm like, God damn, like,
Yeah, bro.
I
So
wanna talk-
we'll keep the voice chat going in here regularly too. I mean, that's part of this is like people being able to use this voice chat to like actually like. I saw what was going on in MVHQ, which is cool, right? Like I'm in MVH. Is anyone in MVHQ?
I don't
Metaverse
even know what that
headquarters.
is.
So
No,
it's like,
I
dude,
need
it's
to
a
join it.
club. The membership is like 2 ETH, 1.8
Oh,
ETH or something for the year, right? And it's like, bro, that's the alpha. Like I'll tell you, I can go in there right now and I'll tell you what the next NFT collections that are going to moon are. Like guaranteed. Like
that's
what
what
the
it. Oh
next yeah.
man.
Yeah, like guaranteed. Like these are like the full NFT hunters. They have their
Mm-hmm.
analytics down. There are right now, let me see how many people are in the VC right now. There are currently 134 people in the voice chat right now. And it's like
Damn.
that all day long, right? But they're just flipping NFTs. They're not people who are actually like creating and developing. And like that's what I want to see in here is like 134 people who are like idle in the voice chat in here, and they're all like working on their own projects, and some of them are teaming up with each other to do collaborations, and like everyone has access to a tool where it's like throw a little ETH in and like NFT DAO pops out the candy machine, like put some art together, like create communities around it, like boom, and then like yeah, I just think that that's the, and then it's like, dude, feed the stuff to MVHQ, like feed it to them, and then just like there it is, put it out, and people are just like, it'll become like a very, very like, I think it would be a very intellectually and like liquidity enriched community, There'd be like good conversations going on, like people who are all working on like positive shit, So. Yeah, I'm stoked. Yeah, I'm
I
like
love it.
Yeah.
incredibly close. And like, dude, you guys, when you hear that Derp is quiet, he's literally idle in the channel, like smashing his face against the computer right now. Just like, just like full blown fucking shredding it right now. And probably like, oh man, I need more compute power. You know? Like he is not like we haven't been able to find him hardware that can keep up with him yet. So
What's this? What's this referring to? I'm
oh,
sort of.
Derp.
I'm tech savvy, but uh,
Dopamine is our developer, and so he's just finishing up like debugging and testing. Like there were some bugs in the front end, and so he's just like finishing up the React and Web3 app, and like there are a couple other developers like working on just like tying all the ends in together. The smart contracts are already deployed. All of the API calls are good. Like, so we're literally like right now in the home stretch before being able to basically like turn on an MVP on the website, populate the DNS, and like have working full MVP ready to go. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna do like a 10 person whitelist and like beta sale. I'm not even calling it a pre-sale. It's like a beta sale. And then like that way we get like 10 people in who want to do their project, who like if there are any kinks or anything like that, we can debug them. And my goal is to actually have like 5 or 6 people who are actually launching their mints from the platform when we announce that minting is going to start, right? And then like the mint will start, but they'll already by the time minting is occurring, they'll have already been mints of associated of people who use the platform to create their project on the platform.
So
You
the
know?
whitelisting is it's basically a practice run, so everything will be flushed out by the time that the real minting is supposed to happen. That's what the whitelisting is.
No, the MVP will be done, but like there might be like some type of like syntax or like lack of intuitiveness in the front end or something like that. That like as people actually go through and use it, like you guys might say like, oh, it would be really great to be able to see like 9 of these things here, or like we actually want more than 25 options for metadata, and just like little shit like that we can add, like little perfecting features. The product will be fully functional and ready and fully tested by us, but we want like a small amount of actual like non-developer user building shit with it. And I actually want projects to launch off of the platform before we even actually open up minting to the public, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Totally. It's mainly that I literally want projects to be launched, and for people who launched on our platform to even like do their mints, open up their mints before we open up access for more people to be able to use our product.
I think that's really smart, because it also, people don't want to just jump in on things that are sort of tabula rasa, and once things are already up and running, it generates its own momentum. So that's a smart idea.
Exactly. Like, and just like it also just keeps it exclusive like that way. Like, I want to make sure that we set the tone and the aesthetic and the level of quality that we expect from the platform day one, right? So like the projects that come to the platform that we select for the people, it's going to be people who are like, that we select to be whitelisted. It's going to be people who are like ready to go, have all of their art assets ready, lined up, have already like started a Discord group or started to mention the project and market it a little bit. And like all they're missing is the development and deployment. And they can just like plug in and go. And then they have like something live and real. They can like point people to their contract addresses and be like, our contract has been deployed. Here it is. It's verified on Etherscan. Feel free to check it out. The collection is up on OpenSea. Minting starts in 72 hours or something like that, or like whitelist in 72 hours.
Ready to go.
That way it's just like, it's so lit. And those first people who got in, who decided to be the first supporters as well, they also get a chance to kind of like front run like a bunch of people trying. It prevents like a bunch of people from trying to launch like fast, shitty collections, and make sure that like people know that they, in order to be successful on the platform, they have to like execute on a certain level of quality, right? So, yeah. By the way, dude, I will be minting one of yours 100%. Like I'll be minting one of both of yours 100%. At least one. At least one, dude. Like the jellies, bro. I'm literally here just like, what, dude? What with the jellies?
Yeah.
Dude, it's actually like fucking meta, dude. Because everyone's doing like all this shit that's like and they're like, because they're jellies, right? That's the idea.
They're like little Space Invader jellies. I got this whole idea like you'll get like access to this mothership, and like I have this whole roadmap planned out. It's just the smart contracts is like my biggest stumbling block.
Yeah, bro. We already like, this is how I am, is like the reason this product is existing now is because I was anticipating what people were going to need in December. Like I was looking at the market and I was like, what are people going to, what utility is going to be missing from the marketplace? I was like,
it's like,
how can I check this stuff out? I'm not sure what you guys are.
Dude, go to so right now we just have a small video, but go to let's see, which one is it? It's in the info channel. If you click on how it works, there's a video there that shows you basically like what some of the UI of the tool, just like a little teaser video. And earlier Derp was on basically like showing these guys the randomization. And as soon he's just finishing a few things right now, and then he's literally going to do like a full, like entirely through the process, actually mint and deploy on Polygon and like just make a video of the entire process and put it up here. And then the next phase will be like, we'll be doing the whitelist, getting the whitelisted people to start using the tool. And then once those whitelisted people tell me, like, once a critical mass of them tell me, like, okay, like, we're deployed. Once I see that enough of them have deployed, then I'm going to start the countdown for the opening of the mint for the licenses, basically. It's kind of the timeline.
Super sick.
Gotcha. Oh, so I heard you mentioned. So you're going with Polygon.
No, just for our test deployment for the video.
Gotcha.
So these are going to be. This is going to deploy on ETH initially, and then like as we update the roadmap and feature creep, we'll allow people to deploy on any EVM compatible chain, which is just like a couple of extra backend scripts to add in there and a drop down box to select which network you're connecting to, and then you'll be able to deploy on any EVM compatible network.
Awesome.
So, yeah, but I mean, obviously ETH is the place to go because that's where long-term collecting is occurring. But like if someone wanted to use their NFTs for like game assets, or someone actually wanted to run like a trading DAO or a trading group with these NFTs, like being on BSC or Polygon or AVAX might be better because of like the gas fees on transactions and things like that, you know? So it's like we'll give people the flexibility to decide where they want to be. But like initially this is for people who are developing this is for people who are serious and have the intention to develop a serious project, or are developers and want access to a tool that allows them to like mitigate bottlenecks they have to doing generative art development for people. You know, like NFT contract deployments and stuff.
Definitely, yeah. That's actually one of the I would say the issue with something like Solana is because it's so cheap. There's no barrier to entry, and that's what led to just so much junk on there. So
Yeah, and that's part of the pricing of the license too, right? Which is that like we don't want this to become like a source of pollution on the blockchain, you know? We want it to be people who are serious enough in their product to understand like, oh yeah, this is a tool for me as an artist or a developer that's like really worth it because, you know, I'm building something that's first class. So
I love it.
yeah.
I'm stoked.
Yeah, it's did you look at the video, bro? You check it out?
I had the mic on. I've been listening to you. Is it the one from Tira?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. No, I'll take a look at it like once the convos.
Yeah. I mean, the audio doesn't even matter so much, dude. Like, you could literally just watch it because, like, you can just see the user interface getting clicked through. Like, it's literally just someone describing what they're doing. But it's like you'll basically get a very quick idea of like how it functions. You literally just like, and these guys earlier, Derp was on. He showed them like how the preview